So this is RKDM DAGDAGIEL episode 2. And we just made it to second level. Good.
Yeah.
Wahaha. So, you guys have returned to the city from your little mission, yeah? Should we do a quick recap? Jojo, Jordan, you are recap man tonight.
Cool. So we fought some monsters, zombies that almost killed me, almost killed Barry's character, and almost killed Charlie. We then got out of there as fast as possible,
Right.
and we also found out that the catacombs that we were in had been decimated and runes had been put on the coffins or sarcophaguses.
Right. Very good. Okay. So you basically were sent off there by House Kaelryn. I believe that was your character Alexander's. That's your house that you work for.
That's correct, yes.
Oh, we should also say hello to Sean. Sean, this is Barry. If you haven't met Barry before, I don't know if you've met Charlie and Jordan before, but now you have.
Nice to meet you, Sean.
Nice to meet you all.
So
Looking
Sean,
forward to a good game.
Sean's playing in my Wednesday night campaign in our face-to-face game in Vane Gate. And yes, he's away, and you're in. Whereabouts are you at the moment? Queenstown, Christchurch, somewhere in the South Island.
Down in Christchurch for 2 months.
Damn.
So can't get away with it.
Fair enough. All right. Well, welcome. Anyway, good stuff. Okay, so let's introduce our characters. So Barry, tell us about Rokan Taka.
Rokan Taka is a... Oh, shit, I've forgotten what he was.
He's an Orcan ranger.
Yeah. Okay. Rokan Taka is an Orcan ranger who's basically left his Orcan roots because there's all political crap going on in the Orc world at the moment. And he doesn't want to be part of that. So he just decided to pack up and head to somewhere different. And of course he met up with two complete strangers and ended up in an adventure in a tomb with them.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
Alexander. Let's hear about Alexander.
Alexander last name to be added because I couldn't think of a last name.
Yep.
Is a human sorcerer who is seconded to the House of Kaelryn. And he just does jobs for them and magical stuff. And
right, and you've got your own quarters and what have you at House Kaelryn's fortifications.
That's correct.
Right, and last but not least, Vespera.
I wrote the phonics.
Vespera.
Kinda.
It
So
worked.
it might help.
Thank you.
Right, do you want us to describe what we look like, or should we save that?
Yeah, you can describe what you look like, whatever you like. It's your character. You talk about it.
Okay, well, Vespera is a human-looking druid. She has long red hair, such as I do. Her eyes, if you were to gaze into them, they're quite shimmery. They glow. Even if the room is dark, they have a little glow to them. She also has like freckles that are like metallic glitter. She's quite fair. She just is all in red. I don't know if I mentioned that before. She has a red leather, like corset, leather, studded leather armor, and the rest of it's kind of like drapey, dress, dancery sort of style attire. Her thing is that she came to DAGDAGIEL with her fellow clans people. Don't want to. Yeah. They're also her family.
Right, fair enough. Okay, so you guys have come back to DAGDAGIEL after your little quest, and you're venturing back into the city at present. Sean, your character has been, somebody has come and basically you've been laying drunk and your face on the table in a tavern for the last sort of hour or so, having lost another gambling streak. And someone has come and grabbed you, a fellow named Hector Kaelryn, actually. You know him as Lord Hector. And he's taken you to a fellow named Reagan Cordana, who is the steward of House Kaelryn. And he's told you there's another mission for you to do, basically. So he's promised you gold and what have you, and told you that you'll get lodgings and what have you if you follow him along. So I'm assuming you're going to cooperate, which would be really nice if you do. And they take you to House Kaelryn. Now, for a brief introduction to DAGDAGIEL, I know that others have heard this multiple times now, and they're probably sick of it, but the city itself looks a little bit like somewhere between Helm's Deep in Lord of the Rings and Minas Tirith. It's this massive fortification set up against a mountain, the side of a mountain, with these vast plains that stretch down to the sea over about 10-15 miles. There's a river that goes down to the sea, and as I've said to you before, not a lot of boats can get up and down this river. Not any big vessels anyway, maybe rafts and things like that. The city itself is made up of 5 great enormous walls, one behind the other, that encompass the city. It's sort of concentric walls. Each one's higher than the one before it, and between them there are moats. So it's a super fortified city. And it's very dark and windy and cold here, and there's frequently storms on these plains. In the city, the walls themselves are broken up with these massive, squat, square towers, and each one of these towers belongs to one of the houses. The bigger ones belong to the high houses, and they're set usually between the 3rd and the 5th wall, and the lower houses are lower down out towards the outside of the city. And these towers are connected by these walls and bridges and what have you, and many of the walls have tunnels running through them where messengers and what have you pass through to each other. You can traverse whole sections of the city without ever leaving the confines of the towers and the walls. The common folk, of course, they live down in the streets and in sort of more humble dwellings. And the city's on multiple levels, and there's huge, wide steps that make up courtyards and connect other courtyards and marketplaces and so on. And you've come from a place called the Rumbling Pig Tavern, where your new friend, what did I say his name was? Hector, has brought you from all the way to House Kaelryn, which is a sort of medium-sized one of these towers. You've entered through the bottom, where the stables and the armorers and so on and so forth are. You can hear all the clamor going on downstairs. Something seems to be amiss as you come in with Hector, and Hector takes you to meet the steward, Reagan Cordana, who you've met once or twice before. And Reagan says that he wants you to meet with High Lord Valdrith Kaelryn in the Megaron upstairs. And so you travel up through the castle, many flights of stairs, and you're probably still recovering from whatever hangover that you have presently. Would you like to make a constitution check?
Wow.
Hang on, what did we get? I missed it because I am not looking at that. A 4. Oh, awesome. Okay, so Alcas, you are at disadvantage for a little while, until at least you leave the city. Well, depending on what you do, you might not leave the city immediately, so we'll say for an hour. Okay. The rest of you guys have finished your mission, and your friend, the steward, Reagan, has taken you from Alexander's quarters, where you've just sort of come back to recuperate. You can take a long rest if you want.
Will do.
Excellent, thank you.
I wouldn't mind long resting with my I wouldn't mind long resting with my family.
Your family, okay. You can go and visit them.
Good.
In the meantime, a messenger comes and gets you, though, however, and brings you back to the castle.
Okay,
at some-
I just want to get my spirit as well.
Right. Okay. And then, whilst you're waiting in there, this knight turns up at the door named Hector. You know him, Alexander. You've met him a couple of times before. He's one of the lords, one of the sons of Valdrith Kaelryn. And he knocks on your door.
I say, come in.
They open the door, and he enters and dressed in his assemblage. He looks like he's wearing riding clothes and what have you. He's clearly been a busy person today. And he says, "Excuse me, lords and ladies." And he looks around at each of you, kind of almost dismissively, having said the words. He says that High Lord Valdrith Kaelryn wishes to see you in the Megaron.
I look quite surprised by this, and I bow low, and we shall follow you, my lord.
You will need to make a report on your last task.
Yes, my lord.
Very well. I shall leave you. Make your approach as soon as possible, please.
I will
Yes.
ask Alexander, what is a megaron? What?
The guy leaves and closes the door.
What is that?
It is the chambers of the royal, or the lord of the house, or countess of the house, depending on the situation.
All right. Well, let's wake up the kitty. Sorry, the sounds like a cat. Even though it's an orc, yeah.
The orc. I cast my mage hand and give the orc a good slap.
Slap.
My mage hand goes a bit harder this time.
Right, 10 pounds worth of harder.
10 pounds worth of harder, yes.
No.
Wake
What?
up.
What?
We're off.
I'm not off. I smell all right.
We got to go
No.
somewhere. The megaron, whatever that is. I mean, it doesn't sound real.
What is Megaron?
Well, you can all make history checks except for Alexander. You know what the Megaron is. It's basically a throne room.
Do I know what a Megaron
Dunk,
is?
dunk.
As an
Oh.
orc,
It's okay, I know what it is.
you may know what it is. Let's make a roll for you, Barry.
It's so silly.
Megaron is. This is a history check. History.
I love it when the dice don't agree with.
This should probably be a disadvantage because you're an orc. 13.
Mm.
Yeah, 13. I think is a fair number for that. Yeah, so you kind of have a vague idea what it might be, Barry, but you're not really sure.
All right, let's go have lunch.
All right, so you parade your way up through the castle, following Alexander up through this large, squat fortress, up to about the 12th floor. When you come to the entrance to the Megaron, there are guards on either side of you in a phalanx formation, and they bear the banner of House Kaelryn, of course.
Good place to have lunch.
They look like they're well dressed, well armed, and their weapons and armor is highly polished. And before you is a set of double doors, which they then swing open as you arrive. One of them calls out, steps inside, and he calls out, "Lord Alexander is here. Alexander, last name to be added." Whatever his last name is, he announces you by it. You have to get onto that shit.
I do, yes.
And at the far end of this this room, filled with pillars and so forth, it's very fancy. Banners hanging down either side, tapestries, a big table on one side like that. They do dinners over there and breakfasts over there, and there's a few bookshelves on the sides of the room as well with scrolls and things, and some other bookkeepers sitting around at desks. But at the far end of the room is a set of steps that goes up to a platform where there is a throne-like structure, where you see Lord Kaelryn sitting. He's an older man with long, grey hair down to his shoulders. He looks fairly grim as you approach. He leans on his fist as you come upon him. Now, at this point, you will also see that there is somebody else here. Sean, perhaps you'd like to describe yourself.
So probably leaning up against a pillar or against a wall a little bit nonchalantly, you'll see my character Elkis, who is a half-elf rogue / barbarian. And from his general looks, he's kind of not wearing any sort of armor, just wearing kind of clothing and maybe some warm fur pelts. It doesn't look expensive clothing, but it looks like he's tried to make it look more expensive than it is.
Right.
And also, he doesn't appear to be armed unless you have very good perception, and then you'll notice that there are a few little daggers tucked away and a long sword tucked in the folds of his clothing.
Right. If you can make perception checks, actually, I would actually like to see that, because there are details.
Ding, ding.
That is a 17 from me.
14.
14 from you, eh? 14 from you, okay.
Yes.
Well, Vespera, you will notice the daggers and things, and you see that there is a longer weapon under his cloak. Alexander, with your 17, you notice that sword has a distinctive style about it. And Rokan, let's make your perception check as well. You get +2 on this. Roll a 16, so it's an 18. You get the highest. Rokan, you know that it is the sword of your enemies. It is an elven longsword. So there you go. That's because one of your favorite enemies is in fact elves. Another one is orcs. What do you know? So anyway, so you're standing here in front of this fellow, and he leans forward on his hand and grumbles something and takes a sip of wine from his cup and puts it down. He sort of looks at you all for a long moment, and he turns to you, Alexander.
I bow the lowest that I've ever bowed before, and I go, "Yes, my lord."
Flattery will get you nowhere with House Kaelryn. You understand that, don't you, Alexander?
Yes, my lord.
Nonetheless, it is appreciated that you follow protocols. Now, I understand you have been recently to see the catacombs. I understand there has been disruption there. Our ancestors have been, what would you say?
I would say that they've been abused and disfigured.
Disfigured and abused, do you hear that? Our ancestors, our very forefathers, and our lineage has been disrupted. Our tombs have been defaced. And what have you found?
I found that there were some runes written on the sarcophaguses, and but we couldn't figure out much more than that, my lord.
And that is all you've discovered, I see. And I heard somewhere from one of my men that you found yourselves in combat.
Yes, my lord.
You returned looking somewhat battered and bruised, is that true?
Yes, my lord.
Well, perhaps you'd like to disclose a full report on the situation.
We discovered that the tomb was the door to the tomb was cracked, and so we entered. We went down and heard noises. And upon investigating those noises, we were attacked by 3 zombies, with the unfortunate of their forefathers. We defeated them, and then tried to make our way back out, and there were more.
So you're saying that our forebears were disrupted, and worse yet, they had been raised by some fell necromancer. Is that what you're suggesting?
Yes, my lord.
I see. Do you have evidence of whom might have done such a thing?
I am not too sure, my lord.
Do you have the names of the tombs that were disrupted? The names of our ancestors who were raised?
Yes, I do, my lord. And I give you a paper that I've written down the names on.
Right, now I remember that you got 3 of the names, but you ultimately fought 6 zombies.
Yes.
Very well. I should like to introduce you to our companion here. Now, Sean, I'm going to just change your name to, it's Alkas, isn't it? Elkas? Like so?
Yep, Alkus. Maybe not his real name, but one that he's known by.
Right. This here is Alkas. He's done some tasks for us in the past, and I should like him to work with you, and I should send you to gather more information on the subject of this tomb raiding nonsense. I'll have it put to its end. Understand?
Yes, my lord. Yes, my lord.
He calls forth one of his servants, you. And the servant comes forth. He says, we owe them all some money. Hand it out. So the servant comes down and opens this bag of gold and hands out the money that they promised you. I think it was 10 gold pieces.
Yes.
So they give you each
Yes.
10 gold pieces directly into your hand. He counts them out.
I definitely as well try to get in on this.
Thank you.
Line up with the rest of them.
Right.
How kind.
You can make a performance check if you like, or a deception check, whichever's higher for you. Wow, 14. The guard starts counting out the money to you. The servant starts counting out money to you, and Lord Kaelryn says, "No, not him. He has not done anything yet. We've already paid him for his last mission." "Give me, my lord," he says, stepping back, and he bows almost as low as Alex did briefly a moment ago. "Now, will you be needing anything for your tasks?"
No, my lord. But I may ask for some armor.
Armor. Very well. You may visit the armory and speak with the dwarf that resides there. We have armor that can be fitted to you.
Thank you, my lord. And with that, I bow and back up as I'm bowing.
I'll bow as well. I'm mimicking Alexander because I don't know how to be polite, so this seems accurate.
Fair enough. Now, Alex, you are aware of the dwarf blacksmith. His name is Dalen.
Cool.
Dalen, however you want to say it. Dallyn, the dwarf blacksmith. All right. Very well, says the Lord. That is enough. Be gone. Waves you out.
Thank you, my lord.
All right, so you recede politely. Let's make I guess a performance check from everybody to see how they do it, their etiquette.
Bing, bing.
Rokan, I'll make you a performance.
15.
That was a 12 from me.
Rokan, I'm going to give you disadvantage because you're an orc and you don't know the ways of these civilized people. Oh, that's a 3.
It's about right. I walk out.
You just walk out. Yeah, I don't think anybody really cares, to be honest. They don't expect much. So, okay. Very good, very good. All right, so where do you go from there? After you head out, they close the doors, and now the 4 of you are together.
Hello. I guess you're going to be another friend.
Oh, well, we'll
us.
see. As long as the money's there to pay us at the end of the day, I'll do the work.
He's looking quite hungover. Which, incidentally, we should have been rolling your deception check and so on and so forth at disadvantage based on that stuff. You know that,
Oh.
right? But hey.
Hmm.
All right, so keep that in mind. All right, so what do you do, Alex?
I start making my way down the flights of stairs towards the armory and say to the others, "Follow me."
All right,
Is this
Alexander.
going to get us breakfast?
Oh, breakfast. That's a great idea.
I as I say that, I say, "Oh, we'll stop at my lodgings first, and I will deal with that situation first."
Alexander, you don't really look like you need armor. It will hinder you, wouldn't it?
Would hinder me, but the last time we went that way, I was almost killed. So, for my personal protection, I feel that I need armor, just for safety. For safety.
All
Are you
right.
sure? Okay, as soon as you wear it, though, I think you should try to practice some, I don't know, firebolts. I do like a good firebolt.
Right. I will definitely try that.
Okay, good.
Now, out of game, do you have any proficiencies in any types of armor?
None.
Okay, well,
See what I mean?
I don't think you can cast spells wearing armor. Just
That's what I was trying to say.
That will be interesting.
that will be interesting. Sorcerers don't normally wear any armor.
Out of game, they'll generally use mage armor.
Oh yeah, that's right. I have mage armor.
Do you have mage armor as a spell?
I do have mage armor as a spell.
All right.
Shocking.
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 Very well. So are you still going to go to the armorer? I mean, you may or may not know these things at this point, as you're only second level. You know, you've barely scratched second level.
I think with the sudden realization that I actually do have armor, I just say, we'll go to my apartment and have breakfast. And I look at Rokan and go, food.
Good. Let's go.
All right, so you head to your quarters and you ring for some food, and they bring it to you. They give you a pretty sturdy meal. It's a bit bland, but it's a sturdy meal. And you nom away at that. Now you've all had your long rests already, so I better sort Barry out for his long rest. Actually, take a long rest. Confirm. Oof. Barry, incidentally, now that you're second level, you have 18 hit points instead of like 8 or 10 or whatever it was.
Oh, that's nice.
Further to that, you have a new fighting style that you have acquired. And I'm just going to check with you what you wanted. I chose 2-weapon fighting for you, but there are other options such as archery, blind fighting, defense, dueling, thrown weapon fighting. Do any of those appeal?
Do you use 2 weapons? Is that how you're going to fight?
Yeah, 2 hand axes was.
Yeah.
So that
Okay.
seems to be the obvious kind of way to go. Yeah, 2-weapon
Yeah,
fighting.
2-weapon fighting. Yeah.
All right, we'll stick with that then. Cool bananas. All right, so you don't go to the armorer then. Fair enough. All right, so now you're sitting in Alex's quarters.
Well, me go on next part of my journey. Attack chicken.
Did you say attack a chicken?
Yeah. I think it is a chicken.
Okay.
Right.
It don't look like any chicken I've ever seen before.
Are you discussing the food on the table?
Mm-hmm.
I see. Fair enough. There is also a blazing fire roaring in one side of the room for your gratification.
That is quite lovely. Okay, so I really want to try and bring out this wildfire, this creature, but I don't know how to do that. Like she does, but I feel like she should have some sort of training or like some sort of ceremony to bring her wildfire spirit to light, I suppose.
Well, if you've had a long rest with your druidic tribe, can we say that you did that there?
Okay. So underwhelming.
Well, we have a lot to get through, so I don't want to spend half of the session doing a ceremony that
I got a
Okay.
question. I got a question. I can't say your name.
Who you
Don't
refer-
know who you're talking to.
You.
Okay, right.
Yeah. So, I noticed to make it easier, because by the time I say your name, look out, whatever your name is, you will be dead.
I did say you could call me Vess.
That's. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So you can do that.
Ah, sorry.
It's okay.
Haven't eaten enough yet. Brain not working.
It's all
So-
good.
Alcus, how are you? What's your general attitude at the moment to this situation?
Oh, I'm very much hungover, enjoying a good meal to try and get past that.
Right. Well, as your meal wraps up, you finish eating, and the sounds of munching begin to decline, and slurping of mead or whatever it is that you're drinking. There is a bell at the door.
I go to the door and I open it.
It is the steward, Reagan.
Lord Reagan, how are you?
I am serviceable, he says as he steps into the room and looks around. I see you four are making fast friends.
Yes, we are.
His servant closes the door behind him and stands just inside the door, head bowed, hood up. He says, now, you have thus discovered that there is some sort of necromancy at hand. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
I see. Do you mind if I sit?
Please.
He reaches for one of your platters and grabs some of your food and starts nibbling on it, kind of thoughtlessly, well, not thoughtlessly, unconsciously, if you like. He says, so, do you have a plan? Lord Kaelryn would very much like to see this matter ended.
Yes, I do agree with you. I think what we may have to do is return to the catacombs and do a bit more of a thorough investigation, deeper in the catacombs.
Seems like a good idea. Yes. Perhaps if I find any information pertaining to any sort of necromancy, I will pass it on to you. There is a further complication to all of this. Presently, the house is in a little bit of turmoil as Master Bernat has disappeared. We're not sure where. He's not returned for over 2 weeks. He was supposed to go on a merchant trading voyage, and the ship has returned. He was said to have disembarked, but he has not been seen since. So, presently, most of the house guards are on the lookout for him.
Yes, that is very much understandable.
So, that leaves you to these important tasks.
Yes.
Now, if you were to obtain this necromancer or evidence of him, you of course would be highly paid, he says, looking at the orc and the half-elf in particular, one and then the other. Focus, camera. Thank you. Yes, I suppose I have been given provision to pay you anywhere from 50 to 100 gold pieces if you were to discover more information. If you were to bring me the head of this necromancer, I would perhaps be able to fetch more.
I'm sure that I look at Alcaz and go, please.
So you want his head only. You don't want him back alive.
Well, if you can bring him back alive, that would include his head.
Fair point.
So, yes, we would pay you a weighty sum.
Yes. Have there been any rumors or any sort of whispers in the shadows about any sort of ongoings with the death?
Well, I'm not sure, but if I were in your situation, I think I would perhaps scout about the necropolis and the Valley of Tombs, and see if there have been any encampments or otherwise. See if you can find any locals to the area out that way. There are some small hamlets and what have you that might have seen something. I understand there are druids in the forest too. You could approach them.
Yes. I think we shall be off now. We shall need 4 horses, if that's possible.
Of course, I shall mark them off. Make
Thank
sure
you.
not to take Lord Erebos's horse this time. He was very
Yes,
upset.
I shall not take his horse again.
Yes, yes. Take only the brown ones.
Yes, I shall do that.
Very good. Then that should be us then, unless you have any final questions or requests.
I look at everyone else and go, anything for him before he leaves?
Your missing fellow that was on the ship.
Yes.
Any particular? Oh, can you tell us the particular dock that he came in at? I may have some friends in the area that I may be able to ask around.
He does tell you the dock. And of course the dockyards are, 15 miles from the city. So it's a bit of a trip down there. There's like there is a township that surrounds the dockyards, and there's a lot of wagons, and there's a very big road that goes from the city down to the dockyard, where there's a continual series of wagons and caravans and what have you moving up and down. They do bring barges up and down the river too, full of stuff, and a lot of these barges are pulled by horses on the side of the road, on the side of the river, should we say. And the river has been significantly reformed by years of rebuilding and reshaping and man-made structures, number of bridges and so forth. It's very heavily armored. There's guard towers all the way down to this town. So yeah, you get the name of it. I don't have one that I can pull out of my ass right at this moment, but you can make a history check, see if you know it. I'll give you advantage because you've worked there.
Am I still hungover though? So disadvantage back to normal?
I think in this case, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it. Okay, so yeah, 7. Oh dear. All right. Sadly, you've never heard of it. Okay. Well, will that be all then? Says the steward.
Yes, I believe that's all. Reagan, thank you for your assistance, and we shall be off as soon as possible.
He stands up and slurps back another cup of wine off your table. He just fills up the cup quickly and then chucks it all back. And he turns to his servant as he goes out, and he says, in fact, there's a little bit left, and he just puts it in the hands of the servant, and he nods to him, and the servant chucks back the dregs at the bottom of the cup, and they walk out. In the distance, you can hear some music playing rather discordantly from somewhere else in the fortress. Alexander, you can make an investigation check.
It is a 8.
An 8. Well, the best I can tell you is that it's one of the lords or ladies of the house who's going through their training and being taught to play various instruments as part of their noble duties.
I say to the group as we're walking down the stairs, she's never been that good.
Fair enough. All right, so you get down to the stables, I assume.
Yes, that is correct.
You know what, Vespera, I've changed my mind because you made such a plea.
No, too late.
If you want to visit the druids,
Too late.
I say to Vespera, would you like to visit your family before we leave?
They'll be fine.
Are you sure? We may not see
Yes,
them for
it's
a while.
what do you mean by for a while?
This could be quite a long venture.
I would love to go meet some druids.
Okay, okay. We'll go and say goodbye to them.
Okay.
Then we'll leave.
All right.
Mm.
Okay, so you go down to the stables and you grab some horses, and the stable hand assists you finding horses that don't belong to any of the high nobles.
I definitely have a look around for horses that do belong to high nobles, but we'll go with another one.
You can make a perception check with disadvantage, or investigation, actually. Is that a big fat 6?
Your game borked.
Yeah.
What's happening?
Yeah, I don't like these
Reload,
dice.
reload.
Okay. Yeah, you're not really seeing any, and maybe you're just having a bit of tunnel vision at the moment. Trouble with really concentrating, and a splitting headache right now. As you're approaching the exit, however, the door at the bottom of from the castle opens, and this one of the noble ladies comes out with several attendants, and she rushes into the room and she looks around. Alexander, she says.
Yes, my lady, and I bow halfway.
You recognize her as Lady Jocelyn.
Lady Jocelyn, how may I be of assistance?
She says, well, actually, I was hoping to be of assistance to you. I hear that Lord Kaelryn has sent you on a new mission, something to do with the catacombs, and I understand that you were dreadfully wounded in the last attempt. Is that true?
Yes, it is, my lady.
Well, I have brought you something that might assist you. And she passes you this box that she has. So one of her attendants gives it to her, and she passes it to you. She says there are potions of healing within.
Oh, thank you very much, my lady.
There are only 8, so do be careful with them. And
I shall.
They will perform only 2d4 plus 2 hit points each.
Yes, my lady. Yes, my lady. That is perfectly fine. Thank you.
Okay, so if you want to, you can divide them up between you now or later.
Might as well do it now.
All right, so each of you has 2 potions of healing, minor potions of healing. They do 2d4 plus 2 hit points worth of healing each. Very good. Now, did you have potions of healing last time? I don't think you did you?
Nope.
No.
I don't think we did. We had good
Yeah,
berries.
the berries, yeah.
You had the good berries, that's right. Do you still have good berries? Have you reproduced some new ones since then?
I will definitely be doing that.
Okay, cool.
Popping some more out. Where the deuce is this? Where are you? Healing potion.
Jordan, do you think we should make a new campaign group document?
I think that may be a good idea. Yes.
Okay, can I leave that in your hands?
Yes, you can.
Thank you very much. All right, so you head out on your horses with your potions, and Lord Jocelyn waves you a goodbye as you leave. What is? Give me a moment. I can answer this question for myself.
As believing, I turn around and I bow to her while I'm riding the horse.
Very well. She makes a sign of prayer as you leave.
And I just give a slight nod and whisper, or I mouth, "Thank you."
You know her to be a very devout woman, and she's training with the church and what have you, with the temple, and so she's the business of her ancestors is very important to her. You've come to understand. All right. So you head out into the great city of DAGDAGIEL, and it is raining and wet, and the weather is closing in above. You head down from House Kaelryn's tower amongst the common folk, and there are throngs of pressing masses pushing through narrow passages and widening out into big courtyards and so on, squares, markets, wagons heading past, horses, soldiers, all of that sort of thing. The tavern is, of course, nearby. This is the Rumbling Pig Tavern where Alcas you were earlier. And as you go past, the smell of food calls to you again, and you can hear the dice rattling on the tables within and the cries of victory and loss.
I think it definitely turns my head as we go past, but as we're riding along in the rain, I'm just arms out, head back, enjoying the rain falling on me, clearly not bothered by being wet at all.
Right. Cool. Okay. Barry, how are you? How's Rokan?
Rokan is keeping an eye on this new person.
I see. So who's riding at the front then? I suppose, Alexander, are you at the front? You're the
Yeah, I think I would be at the front.
formal leader of this pack, I suppose, given that you have
Yeah.
family connections. All right.
Yes.
Very well. Okay, so where do you go?
I look to Vespera and say, where is your family staying?
They're probably just out front still.
Shall you lead the way then?
I'm still new to this place. Maybe you should.
I think that is probably a good idea. So we ride to the front gate and
All right. So
go through that procedure.
Right. Very good. So you go across various bridges, through various gates, past many guards. You wave your signet ring at them, Alexander. What background has Alexander got, by the way? I'm curious.
That is a question. Oh, I'm an investigator.
An investigator. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Okay. Well, you magically also happen to have some of the features of the nobility background because I'm just nice like that. And I'm going to sneeze momentarily.
Bless you.
Nope. It's going away.
Oh, I take that bless back then.
Take it back.
I counterspell my bless.
Do I get a D4 to add to my saving throws and
No, you took it back.
I took it back with counterspell.
Damn it. Okay. All right. Well, you finally get to the main gate, and this gate is between the first two walls. There is this massive courtyard that acts like a sally port, where there's groups of people brought in here, processed by the guards before they're let in through the second gate, and they bring them in groups of about 50 at a time. And process like 50 individuals, their wagons, everything. They search everything, and then they let those people through to the next gate. And so you'll find as you get to the first of those two gates, there's a lot of people waiting around for their friends to get processed. But on the way out, it's much easier that you just go around the side of the courtyard and past the guards, and they just let you straight out the front gate. There's a side gate, in fact, that they can you can go through. So you ride out onto the plains beyond the DAGDAGIEL moors, or the very beginnings of them, and you can see all of the gathering people, the masses out there, the kind of ghetto that's formed, like a makeshift ghetto of tents and impermanent or temporary structures. Lots of different people, lots of different races, lots of traders, caravans, wagons, also lots of soldiers as well, keeping an eye on all of this. Halfling bards are performing the great epic known as the story of Milford Brixton. and how he allegedly died somewhere in Hemeth Tirith, but hey, that's a long story. So yeah, that's what's going on. Vespera, would you like to make a perception check, please?
Sure. 22.
22. All right. Well, you see Gormal and some of your other druidic nation friends among the crowds over to the edges. You see there, I don't know whether they have banners or something particularly, besides their red clothes, red armor, but perhaps their tents have some significance as well somehow. Do you have any ideas about that?
It's probably
They have a
I don't
bonfire.
think there'll be a banner, but it could just be like
They may have a big bonfire
material of.
out their encampment.
Sorry.
Perhaps a bonfire out the front of their encampment.
Well, they would love that if they were allowed. I'm not sure.
Yeah, they could do that. No one's going to stop them. I mean, fires, people have to keep warm.
That's true.
They have heaters in this world.
Yep.
Okay, so there's this group of tents and wagons surrounding in a horseshoe around this big bonfire. And these strange-looking people in robes and cloaks and such, whom, of course, you recognize. Do you just start making a beeline for them, or what?
Yes. Yep.
All right. Well, you see Gormal amongst them, and he waves as you approach. Vaspera!
Gormal.
And how does it go?
Everything's going well, but they're wanting to steal me away for a bit longer.
Are they paying you less?
I think so. They gave me some coins before. I'll give him the coins.
Oh, thank you. These will go well. He passes them on to Cormag, and Cormag nods to you and smiles and walks off back to one of the tents where the elders are hanging out. Do you need anything?
I don't think so. They're pretty good.
I see. Well, Eonin has mentioned that it might be time for your initiation ceremony. Have you considered that?
Initiation into the wildfire druids?
It is still what you want.
Of course it's what I want.
It's what you've been training for. So yes, that's the initiation that I was speaking of. Very well.
Yes.
Well, do you have time this night for that, or do you need to pass off to your present mission with your new associates?
I'll look at the others.
I'm going nowhere.
I look at her and I just nod slightly, because of reading books and that sort of stuff. I may have a bit of history about the druids and how they ceremonies and all that sort of stuff. So I just look at her and I just nod slightly.
You may, of course, feast with us. Oh, you've brought.
You just ate a whole bunch of food, Brokan. Guess there's always room for more.
Like an hour ago now. All right. So, Gormal invites you into their camp, basically, and they begin the preparations for this feast and so forth. And someone goes and fetches Eonin, who's the chief druid amongst you guys. And Eonin takes Vespera away to a tent to prepare for her ceremony. And the goings on to do with that is going to be, you're going to be putting on your costume, you're going to be being anointed with oils and so forth, and special designs and paints, and you may or may not get a tattoo. I don't know.
That'd be sick.
That could be part of it.
Yeah. Let's do it. Tattoos.
Tattoos. All right. Very well. So you want to make a Constitution saving throw to see whether or not we hear screaming coming from the tattoo tent.
I got this.
You got
17. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
What kind of tattoo should I go for?
Well, you
I would like a fiery butterfly on my back. Well, a moth. Fiery moth.
Fiery moth. Okay, cool. Sounds good. All right, so that's what you come out with, and that'll take like a couple of hours. In the meantime, these guys can eat, drink, and make merry. They sit you round with a couple of the elders. So Rokan, Alex, and Alkas, you have an opportunity to talk to some of these druids if you wish.
I first start off by doing some small talk about druidic life and what it's like, being a druid essentially.
Right. Well, one of the druids there, Aelden, is speaking to you, and you know what? No, it's not. It's Sahar, and Sahar tells you that she's been a member of this tribe since she was a little girl. Her mother was a member of this druidic circle. But she tells you that they're nomads and they travel around and so on. She doesn't really talk too much about any specifics of what they practice, though.
And I don't try to pry or anything. I just enjoy the stories that they do tell.
Very well. Alcas, do you talk to anyone among them?
I probably don't pry about their practices, but I definitely ask for more details. So what brings you to this city in particular?
Well, we have things to trade. They're on our trade routes, she says. We come about here about once every 5 to 7 years as we traverse the Banakaya from north to south, from the plains of Kobandur, all the way here and as far as Charasith. And yourself?
I've been around the ways a bit, but normally the sea is my home. It's where I feel most safe.
Are you a sailor then?
Yes, through and through. Born by the sea, and I'll die at sea.
You look like you might have a little bit of elf in you.
Yes, I don't know much about my heritage on that side, but my mother was an elf, and unfortunately she did pass away, but maybe one day I'll learn some more.
Well, I am sorry to hear that. I hope you find more about your heritage. I understand the elves have a very deep and long ancestry. Their history goes back to the beginning of days in this world.
Yes, yes. Maybe someday, but there's many adventures to be had out there in this world.
Perhaps you have the very blood of Coral on the Rathian in you.
Ha! Wouldn't that be something?
Wouldn't it? They say that all elves are descended of him.
Well then, maybe I do.
Perhaps. And of course, Alex, you're overhearing this, and so is Rokan. So, are you off on an adventure then, she says?
Adventure job. Same thing, really. As long as it pays.
I see. Anything we can get in on?
Vespera will be helping.
Vespera will be helping?
Yes, she'll be coming along with us and assisting.
Oh, I see. So you've already found what you need to assist you with your tasks then. I see.
Yes.
Oh, well, it is a pity. I do like doing such adventures myself. I spend most of my time working with the other druids, fetching various components and, the likes.
So to her, would you like to join us?
Well, I can but ask Ionin and find out if I am allowed.
Well, please do, and we'd happily like to have you along with us.
Perhaps you can tell me more about it so I can pass that on to Ionin so that he can make a better judgment.
We are looking for a necromancer, we think.
Necromancer?
Yes, at the catacombs in the necropolis over yonder.
Truly?
Yes.
How interesting. Very interesting. You know that we did hear some strange sounds coming from the forests only a few nights ago.
I perk up at this and look at her questioningly.
No doubt it's unconnected, but who knows? There is a slight chance, I suppose.
There could be, yes.
Aye, she says, about there between them yonder trees, one of our little ones, Zara, was playing, making a fire, actually, practicing, as you do when you're young. Campfires are very important to us as druids. And she reported that she heard some very strange sounds coming from in the woods. It sounds like, she said they sounded like animals. Perhaps I'll go and fetch her. Hold on a minute. And she goes off. Leaves you guys for a couple of minutes. So there's just the three of you at the moment. Meanwhile,
while it's just the three of us, I would probably point out animals from the woods. Ooh.
Aspera, you are still getting prepared for your ceremony and what
Yeah.
happened the date.
I'm just kidding. Yeah.
You know, if you've ever seen someone get a moko,
Mm.
yeah, pretty unpleasant, or at least not necessarily unpleasant, but not exactly fun. But you know, it's a spiritual experience.
Yeah.
Of pain. This is the fire that you shall remember. And you
I
can
had to
hear
get a large one, didn't I?
some of the druids are sitting in the tent around you, chanting old songs and you know, about the pain is the fire is the pain, blah blah blah. This is, you know, you can imagine. Do you they offer you a special concoction of alcohol and herbs to dull the pain. Do you take it?
I will take it.
Right. They call you a wuss, and
I was
you will never be a high priestess now.
I was thirsty.
Fail.
I was thirsty. It's not for the pain.
Anyway, so that goes on. The little girl comes back with Sahar, Zara, and she comes over, and Sahar says, Zara, can you tell these gentlemen here about what you heard in the woods? And she nods. Yes. I was making a fire by the edge of the woods, and I heard strange growling noises, and they sounded a bit like animals, but I don't know. They also sounded like something else.
I look at her and I say, describe the sound.
Oh, well, kind of like, have you ever heard an animal when it's dying, sir?
I have, yes.
Many times.
I protracted, drawn out for a long time, and she doesn't say protracted. That's a big word for a 10-year-old.
We are clever druids.
These clever druids.
Yeah, we put all of our points into int.
Right. She says, unnatural is what it was. Unnatural. And when I went to have a look, I found holes in the ground, and there was claw marks on the trees.
How far away were you from here?
Oh, how
Little
far
one.
was it, Sahara? She said, oh, and they speak in their own language for a minute. And after a minute, Sahara says, she says it's about 10, perhaps 10 miles from here.
I check my mind and go, the dark forest. What I think of as the dark forest.
Sure, yeah. That sounds about right to you.
Yeah. I think this little girl, and I give her 5 gold, and
that's
say
more gold than
5
she's ever
gold.
seen in her entire life. That you could buy the whole camp for 5 gold.
I just give the 5 gold and I say, for your assistance.
Sahar says, you cannot give her that. I'm sorry, you cannot pass her that amount of coin.
It is fine. And I push the hands back and say, no, you keep it.
We will talk about that later, Zara. And she thanks you, and the little girl's like, mind is blown. And she takes Zara away back to another camp, another tent. And you hear some heated discussion going on amongst some elders in druidic speak, whatever they talk. You've got your own inner dialect.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. There's about 30 people in the world can understand it, but that's not the point. Okay. So eventually, Vespera, you have your ceremony performed, and you
Lots
are
of dancing.
lots of dancing and the the smoking of native herbs and altering of minds and the drinking of the fire water.
Yes.
Yes, and then
And
in your deep vision comes your newfound power, where you unlock your power animal Pokemon.
yes, I throw a Pokeball
All right, so
and
you
out pops
now you're officially
the Venonat.
and you can now use your level 2 class features.
So what we will do is the druids will be around the fire,
Mhm.
and from the flames there will be a moth creature that just appears in fire. Its wings would be like shades of reds and oranges and golds, and it will be glowing. And then it will just pop out and sort of float around, like hovers around Vespera. Vespera would look incredibly happy.
All right, so it comes and visits you from the flames,
Mhm.
and then it recedes after a time, after it gives you this personal vision of your your own personal spirit quest journey, as it were. It doesn't have much to do with anything in the real world, but you suspect it's got to do with where you will go when you die and you return to the flame. um, okay, and so there you go. That's pretty much what we have. So they wrap up that ceremony after some time, and they give you some bandages on your tattoo, and they thank you all for your time with them.
You
And
guys probably end up with like red paint on you.
I was going to say, I definitely get involved with any of the celebrations of merriment.
Yeah.
okay, well, there'd definitely be a lot of dancing and some chanting and singing and carrying torches around, dancing with, there's probably some fire poise involved, I
Yeah.
reckon.
Definitely giving that a go as well.
Okay.
All right.
Mm.
Excellent. And what about Rokan?
Rokan is like, oh, we feast again. That's good. And he goes and feasts again.
Excellent. So he's just basically there for the food.
Yep.
All right.
Because he doesn't understand any of what's going on.
All right. Well, I mean, I'll tell you what, we'll make a religion check for Rokan and see if he kind of gets it on some instinctive level.
I think Vespera would invite Alexander to dance around the fire.
And I definitely accept the offer.
Then make a performance check. Don't worry, I'll DM.
I shall make a performance check.
Rokan, you got a 13 for your religion check. So oh wow,
I
Alexander.
got a
my God.
17.
So yeah, Rokan, you get kind of an instinctual feeling that obviously these druids are pulling upon the powers of the element of fire.
Mm-hmm.
And they very much, I guess the overall general feeling you get from walking away from this is they believe in the cleansing power of flame and how it returns nature by destroying the impurities that have grown up around it. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense even to Rogan.
Right. And Alexander, 17 on your performance check. So how do you describe that?
I'm just having the time of my life. Just dancing around this fire, being quite cautious of not going too close to the fire because obviously I don't want to fall and burn to death.
Right.
But I certainly am having just a good time.
Fair enough. And with the
While also taking mental notes, ready to write down in a book as a mental note for me.
Fair call. The other thing to note is that despite the light rain and the fog and what have you of the general surroundings, The fire is hot and warm and seems to burn supernaturally strongly in the sense that the rain does not even begin to dampen it. None of their fires go out. Actually, I was thinking too, Vespera, amongst the accoutrements of this tribe, there may be a kind of an eternal flame kind of situation that has to stay lit.
I like that.
They have to, and it came from another group, from your sort of where your original place.
Yeah.
Right?
I think that's good. Yeah.
Every group of druids that leaves them carries one of these eternal flames that was sparked from the primal fire. Maybe they got it from a mountain or something.
I like that. That's really cool.
Cool. Okay, so that among the duties that you've had to perform over the years is to look after that flame, guard that flame, carry that flame, and worst case scenario, relight that flame.
Ooh. And be deceptive about that flame.
Yeah, I
It
think
didn't go out.
well,
It's been
even
lit the whole time.
the thing is, like, what you would do is you take the flame and it would be kept in the main tent, right? But then from there, you would also take other flames from it. And if that one was ever to go out, you could return one of those flames to it and restart it using one of the original flames that was its descendant, if you like.
I like that.
There's a whole ceremony about that. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Cute.
Cool. So, thus you've spent several hours, perhaps even the evening, with this tribe. And I mean, do you stay the night, or are you gonna just move on as soon as you can, or what's your
Should
plan?
we just start a new day? Stay the night?
I think start a new day and enjoy the time that we have.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fire festivals of any sort are better done during the nighttime. So
Right. That's a fair call. Okay. Well, I'm gonna get everyone to make a perception check.
Dink,
That
dink.
is a 13 for me.
22.
22 for you. Alcas is a 15. Rokan is a 16. So we've got a 13, a 15, a 16, and a 22. Alexander, I think that you are pretty dead concentrating on the things going on around you and the logistics of the situation, and also learning about these druids.
Yes, I think it's about right.
Rokan, or Alka, similarly for you and Rokan, but you have a feeling like this ongoing feeling like you're being watched. And you notice this ever-present hawk that seems to fly overhead. And it's been, since you left the city, I mean, it's not uncommon for there to be hawks in the city anyway, but as you've left the city, there seems to be a hawk that's just been kind of floating around you guys for a while now. And Vespera, you've noticed this too, but it hasn't really been much of an issue. But the following day, when you leave camp and you start heading off towards the DAGDAGIEL moors, you are aware, at least Vespera, you are aware of a rider behind you quite a way. And every time you stop, they stop. And every time you move forward, they sort of disappear for a while, and then they pop up again, and then they disappear. But they don't ever seem to get any closer. And there seems to be a hawk with them.
So I thought I might just mention this. We've been followed for quite some time. Have you seen him?
No, I haven't.
No, I have not either. And I start looking around very cautiously.
Okay.
Well,
At
he's
this
back.
point, you're just trotting along on the main road. Okay.
Yeah.
Where is this fellow following us?
He's right back there. He is
Just-
stopping when we're stopping, and proceeding when we proceed. He also has a bird with him.
I did notice a bird that seemed to be familiar.
Me too. Saw one last night.
I'm too busy writing notes in my book while riding the horse.
Hawk.
The horse is just kind of leading where we're going.
Right.
Any
I see.
ideas?
I see Hawk.
Start.
So can he can't see us at the moment, can he?
Not at this very minute, no.
Okay. Right. I'm gonna get off my horse and tell them to keep going.
Tell them to keep going.
Yeah, and hide in the woods.
Okay. Do you let them take your horse?
Yes.
Okay. So who's going to lead his horse? Okay, Alcas, you've got his horse.
Yep.
Holding the
I'll
reins
just,
of his horse.
take the reins and just have it trotting alongside me.
Okay.
I use my fur and my green to blend in with everything else.
Okay. So you move into the autumn trees.
Mm-hmm.
And there are lots of greens and reds in the forest at the moment. There's red leaves falling from the trees and caught in the wind, whirling about you. You can hear the sounds of the leaves rattling in the distance and through and out.
And I'm trying to hide from anything that might be above me as best as I can.
All right. Well, you've got a little bit of time to prepare yourself, so I can give you advantage on the stealth check if you like.
Okay, thank you.
I think
Lucky because you got a natural 1 and a 16, which adds up to 21. So it's a very good.
I think once he jumps off his horse as well, I definitely slow down to a very slow pace.
Okay. And the other two, are you still going ahead at normal pace, or are you going to slow down with Alcas?
I'll stay with Alexander. Whatever you decide to do.
I also slow down and just stay with Alcaz as well, so we all kind of slow down a bit.
All right.
So what do you think I should call my new friend?
I jokingly suggest Mothy.
I hate it.
How about Mothra?
I can't hate that out of game. I really can't. I love it too much. No, sorry. My heart is dying.
Mothballs?
Would it be male or female? I ask her.
Well, it's a spirit, so it's kind of genderless.
Well,
Could it be called Johnny?
would you like a
No.
would you like a Kabbalistic analysis of the subject?
No, thank you. Maybe you can send it to me after in a big paragraph or something. But right now, well, thank you. It's okay. You know what, you guys, I'll figure out something.
I look at
Thank
her and I
you.
just nod.
Just in case you guys get into combat, I'm going to roll initiative.
Mage armor.
Okay.
And I am going to create my good berries.
Just
But
because
I would have
I'm
done
gonna
this
get you to
anyway.
roll for initiative doesn't mean that you know you're in combat.
You should
I'm
have done
still
it
putting
anyway.
I'm just doing mage armor because it's important.
Okay.
Fair enough.
That is a fix.
I would have given you guys good berries as well because they last 24 hours. So I would have done that a lot earlier.
Yep. When you left the camp. So is there anything else
Yeah.
you want to do when you left the camp, or at this point? This is your last chance.
So each of you have 2 good berries, except for myself. I will have 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. You've got 4 good berries.
What was that?
Very
was
good
that,
berries.
Very good.
what was that? Very good.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, Rokan, you are hiding in the forest.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have a horse, obviously.
No.
How far off the road are you?
About 200 meters.
200 meters.
Yeah.
So
But I'm still within range that my arrow could hit somebody.
okay, well, okay, so let's.
That's a better way to put it, because I don't understand meters.
That's a better way to put it. Okay,
Yeah.
so as far as your longbow is concerned, you have a range of 150 feet without disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
Between 150 and 600 feet, you can still hit shit, but you have disadvantage to fire.
Okay. Okay.
So would you like to stay within the non-disadvantage range, or?
Yes, the non-disadvantage range.
So we'll put you at 150 feet,
Hmm.
basically, the very edge of your non-disadvantage range, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And from there, you are able to see a horseman with a black cloak carrying a bow, funnily enough, not unlike yours. You see the glint of steel. You think you see the glint of armor beneath his robes, but they carry no banners and no identification or marks.
Okay. Nothing that I would recognize anyway.
Nothing that you would recognize anyway, and you can't tell whether they're human, elven, orcan, goblin, or otherwise.
Okay.
Although they are full-sized, as far as that is concerned, they would be either a human or an elf or an orc or something full-size. They're not a halfling. They're not a dwarf.
Okay. All right. And they're not one of mine because they're probably not big enough.
Well, you can't quite tell. Could be an orc. Could be, but probably not because they are. Yeah.
Yeah. They're,
Also
yeah.
suspect that your horse is probably bigger than the other three too. To be fair, because you'd need a bigger horse than them to ride it without hurting it.
Probably a draft horse.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So
Pull back my arrow.
Okay, so are you going to fire upon them?
I am, because I'm thinking, if he was behind me, he can't be there to say hello nicely.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So I fire.
You fire. Okay, Rokan.
Does he have Hunter's Mark? I can't remember.
You do. Not yet. Not
Oh,
yet.
not yet. Okay, I just wanted to know.
You know what? I'm just going to manage spells. Oh, look at that. You actually can learn a spell. I have not done your spells. You can have Hunter's Mark.
Okay.
You can also have Zephyr's Strike.
Okay.
Those are. Can you do anything else? No, those are your two spells.
That'll do.
Yep.
I know exactly what they do.
Yep. Okay, cool.
When he goes past me, I Hunter's Mark him straight away.
All right, so let's see. Hunter's Mark has a 90-foot range, so you're going to have to move in closer.
I will.
Okay. In fact, maybe you positioned yourself for that.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Well, now that we know I have it, yeah, I would have.
Yeah, 90 feet. Okay, so you're
Yeah.
90-foot range, and you're going to fire upon him from 90 feet with a Hunter's Mark.
Yep.
Here we go. You rolled a natural fucking 1.
Oh, crap.
Can you believe that?
Doesn't he get advantage for, being there and preparing? Aiming, some might say.
I would say yes, and you can thank Charlie for that.
Thank you, Charlie.
It's okay, I just don't want you to. Oh my god.
It wasn't meant to be, Charlie.
I can't save you. I can't.
It wasn't meant to be.
It wasn't meant to be, okay?
At least your bow didn't break, so there's that,
Yeah.
Use a bowstring or snap an arrow or something like that, or shoot yourself in the foot.
Yeah.
Okay, so the arrow merely woof. Let's see if he notices that arrow.
Because I let him go past me, so he might not have noticed it.
Oh yeah, he notices it. Woof. And he stops suddenly, pulls his horse off the other side of the road, and heads into the forest on the other side of the road.
No, I can't shoot again, can I? Oh, I've got 2 shots. Oh, no, I don't at my level, do I?
Not at this level. I mean, you can take another shot at this point because of the distance and the
I
time.
will. I'll take a shot.
Okay, I'll give you one.
Because I hunted marked him.
Yeah, it'll give you one more shot before he's out of range.
Okay.
Sight. 16, and that is a hit. All right, let's do your damage. So first of all,
You know, he didn't hurt anyone. Just because a person looks ominous doesn't mean they're a bad person.
At this time, would we have noticed that the horse has now stopped following us?
you can make perception checks, please.
Bing.
That's a 10.
11.
The dice are not with me tonight. I'm going to change my dice.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
that's
you have
13 for me.
noticed-
What dice are you using?
They've normally been quite good to me. I'm using the dice of planar summoning,
Oh, nice.
changing them to the dice of true color.
Now, the interesting thing is, Rokan, and I'm just going to drop this in now because I haven't told you about this. I was going through your level up process, and of course, I realized that I hadn't selected a musical instrument for you. So I chose a horn.
Okay.
So you have a horn,
That's fine.
just so you know.
I like it.
Excellent. So Alcas, you don't notice anything. Vespera doesn't notice anything, and Alexander doesn't notice anything. All right. Our friend the archer is going to try and make a stealth check. Okay, you see. Actually, before that, we'll see what happens with this too. Oh man, okay. Apparently his horse is panicked, and you can tell because you see him kind of weaving through the trees, and then he hits a branch and gets knocked off the horse. You see that in the distance. And you've got your hunter's mark on him still too, so you know exactly where he is.
Yep.
Okay. But then he moves behind the nearest tree.
Okay.
The horse is just standing out in the open, nibbling at some undergrowth at this point.
Okay.
What are you doing?
All right. I know where he is. Once he's behind a tree, the hunter's mark won't work, will it?
Well, you can't hit him. Hunter's mark allows you to track him,
Mm-hmm.
even if you can't see him. But if you
Okay.
can hit him, it gives you extra damage.
Okay, I will use it to track him.
All right. Well, that's pretty straightforward. You know where he is already, so
Okay.
you've got to, you know which tree he's behind.
Yep. Now I move my way around it using my stealth.
Right. So you're going to have to cross the road. That's the biggest problem because he went to the other side of the road, off into the forest on the other side of the road from where you broke off.
Okay, well, I'll go across the road, and I know he's going to take a shot at me because I would.
All right, so as you go to cross the road, indeed, he takes a shot at you.
Just a quick question. This road, was this the one you mentioned earlier that was quite busy with like trade and stuff?
No, this is a different road.
Okay.
This one heads.
So this one?
This one heads to the necropolis. He does a whopping 10 points of damage, Rokan. That's more than half your hit points.
Okay. All right.
Hits you in the guts.
All right.
Now
Good
you,
game.
now you can make a stealth check.
Okay.
Your stealth check is 20. Very good. Okay. What do you do now?
When I...
Make another perception check.
He would have had to lean out to make that shot a bit, would he?
He did, but he leaned out, took his shot, and then ducked back in behind cover using his movement.
Okay.
19.
I will come
Can't hear you.
round and fire at him.
Okay, now remember you can hold an action until there's a trigger, such as I aim my bow at the tree until he steps out, and if he steps out, I fire my bow. I'm holding.
Yeah, I'll find another tree.
Yep.
Sit there and wait till he moves out to get me again. I'll literally scream so it sounds like he's hit me like he did.
Okay. All right. So you shout out when you got hit.
Yeah. Oh, you know.
Okay. So Alexander, yes, 19. You definitely hear the scream, and it sounds like an orc cry.
As soon as I hear that, I say to the others, I think I've just heard an orc scream. And I turn my horse around and start racing back towards where I heard the scream.
Yes, you're galloping now, right?
I'm galloping, yeah. My horse is like bolting, essentially.
Do I need to make you make an animal handling check?
Sure, why not?
It's a well-trained horse, so you can have advantage.
Oh, cool. Okay, well, we'll do that again then. 19.
Very good. Okay, what do the other two do?
I look
I'm
at
gonna head-
Alcus.
I'm going to
Fine.
head back quickly, but since I have Rokan's horse with me, I'm going to head back quickly enough that you're not going to make me make a check for it.
Okay. All right.
I'll go at Alexander pace because I'm not looking after the horse.
Okay, so you're
Yeah.
going to make an animal handling check as well.
Okay. Bidding, bidding. Not a problem. 18.
Nice. Okay, so you guys are heading back along the road. You can make perception checks at this point.
Bidding, bidding.
It's 5.
Wow. Okay.
21.
Sure. You see these two archers lining up on each other, dodging and ducking between trees. You see one of them is Rokan and the other one is an unknown hooded figure in the forest.
Oh, okay.
You also see the hawk flying up over the trees, circling in a wide, 100-foot wide circle.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, Alexander, they're over there.
And I look to wherever she told me to look, and I look and I see.
Okay, Alexander. Yeah, you see Rokan with an arrow stuck in him, waiting for a shot, and you can see just the tip of an arrow from the other archer, about 70 feet away from him.
Yeah.
Slight glint of steel coming from behind another tree. You can't really see him properly. He's a lot of cover.
I jump off my horse and I start making my way towards a tree and hide behind a tree.
So you're stealthing?
I am stealthing, yes.
Make a stealth check, please.
Certainly. That is a 8.
An 8. Okay. Well. All right then.
I find all the worst spaces and step on like all the sticks.
Vespera.
Yes.
You hear Alexander crunching through the undergrowth now, trying to be stealthy.
Well, I'll hop off my horse and tie it to a tree.
Okay, that's your action.
Yep.
Okay, Alcas.
As I ride up, I won't tie the two horses up, but I'll make sure they're off like the road a bit.
Yep.
And I'll just dismount and have a dagger out ready.
Okay, very good. So you got a dagger out ready. Very cool. Okay. Our archer friend takes a shot at Rokan. Rokan, you're using cover right now, eh?
Yeah.
I'm going to say that you have 3/4 cover, which gives you +5 to your armor class, putting your armor class all the way up to 19 right now. So he takes a shot at you, and you're very lucky that he misses. But he has a second attack. Oh, fuck me. That's a natural 20.
It's a good thing you have good berries that you can't eat when you're dead. I'm trying to see a positive here, okay?
Wait a minute. I need to do that.
I think it's just a good thing that we got those healing potions.
I'm going to call it this instead. Okay, that is 9 points of damage. Rokan is unconscious. Oof.
Okay.
Now, Rokan, before you go unconscious, let's just check something here, because I believe you have a feature that gives you some shit. On the one hand, you've got adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
You've also got powerful build and relentless endurance, which you can use once per long rest.
Yeah.
Once per long rest, when you are reduced to 0 hit points but not killed outright, you can drop to 1 hit point instead. Would you like to use that?
Yeah.
Okay, so Rokan, you are at 1 hit point.
And I take cover.
All right. Where the fuck are your hit points? Here we go. Okay. Yep. You take cover.
And he's not obviously showing himself now.
Well, he sees you take that arrow, and he thinks he's probably got you, so he starts moving towards you. He's preparing another shot.
And I shoot him.
All right. Longbow from Rokan is a 12. Doesn't
And hunter's mark.
Okay, yep. You've still got your hunter's mark because.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, is it a concentration spell? Let me just check a thing. Hunter's mark. Yeah, it is concentration. So you have to make a constitution save to keep it up.
Okay.
Let's see. It's a 10.
No.
I don't know what the difficulty rating is, so I'm going to go with 10 as. I'm going to say it's a success. So there we go. Okay, you still got your hunter's mark.
Okay.
Alexander.
I see that he's starting to go towards Rokan, so I cast Firebolt.
Firebolt. All right, roll to hit.
That is a 4. Never mind.
All right, you set fire to the forest.
I set fire to the forest.
Well, you might do. Let's see. What are the chances?
Pretty high. It's a fire.
It's a fire and it's a forest.
Although it was raining.
It has been raining, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it goes out, but you definitely crisp some dry leaves on the ground. And there is a flare up as the firebolt hits it, but it doesn't catch and it doesn't spread, fortunately for you. For Spira.
How far is Rokan?
Rokan is about 70 feet from you.
Okay. Well, I am going to I don't know if the wildfire spirit follows me. I know it acts on the same turn. I guess not. I will run closer to him.
Okay. So you're going to dash this action.
I won't dash.
You're going to move 30 feet or are you going to dash?
I'll do 30 feet.
Okay, so now he's at 40 feet distance from you, yeah?
Yep.
Towards Rokan.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Rokan, don't forget you've got health potions if you want to take an action to drink.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna. That's my next.
Next turn. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think with my action though, I'm going to dodge in this instance. My little spirit ends up sharing my initiative, so it's going to go as it's going to go as far as it can.
What's
So
the speed?
30 feet and 30 feet fly and hover.
Where do I get the stats for this spirit?
It's on my page anyway.
On your page, okay.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Is it under spells or features and traits?
Features.
Summon wildfire spirit. Okay, yep, I see.
It'll
now.
pop up.
Cool,
Okay, so I wanted to dash. It should be able to dash, right?
Yep.
And then I want him. Oh wait, no.
So it flies 60 feet.
Actually, I'll make it 30 feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Choose now.
This is the first time I played this. So sorry. I'm going to get it to use fiery teleportation, and I want it to teleport myself and it 15 feet closer to Rokan.
Okay, so now you're at 35 feet from Rokan.
Sure.
That makes sense to me. My quick brain calculation.
25, I think, maybe.
25. I think it was 35 because you were. Oh yeah,
We were-
yeah. Okay, 25. 25. You're right. Okay, sounds good.
Whatever. It's fine.
Alcas, 'tis your turn.
How far away from me is this
This
black
dude.
archer? Yeah.
Well, about 100 feet.
Okay, cool. I'm going to run towards him and then dash, but making sure I'm like hidden if I can behind a tree or something.
Okay, so you're using your rogue bonus action to dash.
Yes.
And
I don't. Not sure I have the bonus action dash yet. It's just my action to dash.
Okay, so using your action to dash, so you can dash 60 feet, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you dash 60 feet closer. That means he's 40 feet away. You've still got a bonus action if you have one to use.
No, I just want to make sure I'm behind a tree hidden. If I
Okay,
can.
so you can make a stealth check.
Yep. Natural 20.
Nice. Okay, so you find the perfect spot. Okay, cool. All right, so he's got no clue that you're there. Whose turn is it? It is. Oh, it's his turn. Okay, so he starts drawing another arrow to fire at Rokan. Now at this point, has he seen anything? Has there been anything that's obviously? Well, there's been a fiery spirit run through the place, hasn't there? Let's see whether he notices that. 14. I think he probably does look around and see that. So instead of just going for Rokan, he is going to move to a better piece of cover and hold his action. Rokan, it's your turn.
All
Drink a
right.
potion.
All right, drink a potion.
All right, you drink a potion, and it is worth 2d4 plus 2. You roll a 4 plus 2, so you get 6 hit points back from that potion, which at this point brings you to 7 hit points.
Okay.
You're still very hurt because you're 18 is your full hit points, and you're at 7.
Yep.
Okay, that's your action. Do you have any other bonus actions or anything? Let's have a look.
No, I don't think
Probably
I do.
not much
do
you can do here. You've still got your hunter's mark on.
Yep.
You better spend a spell slot. Yep. So you've got 1 spell slot left, which you can
Okay.
use for either hunter's mark or Zephyr's strike at
Okay.
this point. Okay, so you've done your healing. That's actually, you could throw a hand axe.
I was thinking about that. I'll give that a go.
Okay, so it's you're drinking a potion with one hand and you throw the
Yep.
hand axe with the other hand.
Yep.
All right, I'll give you that. 14 unfortunately doesn't hit.
Oh, fuck.
And now you're down a hand axe. Boof, it sticks into a tree next to him. Never mind. Alexander, your turn.
You're muted.
Use a bonus action
Nope.
to unmute yourself.
Yes.
I use a bonus action to unmute myself, and I cast Magic Missile and fire it at him.
Okay, go for it. Roll your magic missile hits.
For another 4 and another 4.
Wow.
Wow, that's amazing.
I think-
it's 12.
Max.
So that's 12, yeah.
Is it just straight? Oh, it's +1. So it's D4 +1 each time. So you rolled
Okay.
3 threes. Is that right?
I rolled 3 3s, yeah.
Nice. Okay, so you did 12 points of damage. Wow. That very much gets his attention. Okay. Vespera, your turn. You're 25 feet, and you see him moving. He's looking for you at this point, and you would have just popped up, woof, in front of him, pretty much at this point.
Okay. How far was that dude? Dude face from us?
He was 70 feet from Barry, and he's just moved 30 feet, so now he's 40. He's 40 feet from from Barry. You're 25 feet from Barry, so he's 65 feet from you.
Excellent. I will use Entangle.
Okay.
Kasi.
Okay. Does he get a dex save or something?
Let's have a look, shall we? Strength saving throw.
Strength saving throw. Okay.
It is the
He is
rasping weeds and vines sprout from the ground. These will look incredibly fiery looking, reds and
right.
yellows and stuff.
All right. Red and yellow weeds.
In a 20-foot square.
Yep. He failed his strength save with a 5.
Excellent. It says, or be restrained if you fail, by the entangling plants until the spells end. So it's up to a minute.
Okay.
A creature restrained by the plants can use its action to make a strength check against your spell save DC. On a success, it frees itself.
So a restrained creature, the speed becomes 0, cannot benefit from any bonus to their speed. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage, and the creature's attacks have disadvantage. The creature has disadvantage on saving throws, or dexterity saving throws specifically. Okay, so keep that in mind. You will have advantage to attack this fellow, and he has disadvantage to attack you. All right.
So, I think that's what I will do, and then I will. I'm not going to move. I'm just going to remain. But my little creature is going to.
The moth.
The moth is going to teleport.
Another 15 feet, or
15
how
feet.
far?
I will get it to move 15 feet closer to Rokan.
To Rokan. Okay, so Rokan, you see this flaming moth, which you recognize from the ceremony the night before, approaching you.
And move up to him.
Okay, so it comes right up to you at this point.
Yeah.
Okay. Can it do anything besides that? Is that it?
I think to teleport was its action. I have to go back to its little features.
All right.
Yeah, it's its action. So it's going to hide behind you.
It's going to hide behind you.
It's small, so it's going to use you as a shield.
Okay. Very good. Alcas, is that the end of your turn? Do you have any other actions, bonus actions, movement, flavor, or dialogue there, Vespera? Nope. Okay, Alcas.
Cool. So last turn I dashed to get to 40 feet, but then he moved. So how far away now is he?
Right. So now he was at 100 feet. You moved 40 feet, 60 feet. He moved 30 feet. So now you're 30 feet.
30 feet? Cool. I will move to 20. Oh, actually, yeah, I'll move right up to
The entangle?
probably just being out of that, so about 15 feet. And I'm just going to throw off my dagger and try to get his attention with that. So
okay, so you can roll to hit with your dagger. 12 does not hit.
With advantage, because he's...
yeah, with advantage, yes, definitely.
Entangled.
That's better.
Yeah.
That's more like it. That's a hit. All right.
Cool. And so that then will be 1d4 plus 3 plus sneak attack.
Yep.
So 5
Sheesh.
plus... So it's 9.
9 plus your sneak attack.
Oh, no, so 5 plus 4 for 9 total.
Oh, total 9? Okay, cool.
Yep. And when I do that, I'm just going to yell at him and, hey, you big idiot, over here.
All right. He turns and fires at you.
With disadvantage.
Now, is that the end of your turn, just to be sure?
Unless you'll let me pull my shield out, that's the bonus action.
Your shield, so what were you using? A dagger?
I just had my dagger out. I didn't have my shield or my longsword out at that point.
Right. I'll let you have a free action to take out your shield.
Cool.
Okay. So he fires at you with the longbow with disadvantage. Oh, you're lucky because he rolled a 20. And it was reduced to a 15. So does that hit you?
15 does not if the shield's out.
Okay, so there's now an arrow stuck in your shield. Bonk. He takes another shot at you because he gets 2 attacks. Ooh, 21. I think that hits you.
That does, though.
Yep. You take maximum damage, 12 points of damage. And he gets a special bonus action. No, you know what? I'll save that shit up. Okay, that's the end of his turn. You're taking 12 points of damage. Boof from an arrow. Rokan, it's your turn. You're down an axe. You could use some of your movement to pick it up if you want to.
Okay.
But you'll have to move to do that, and you'll have to move towards the archer.
Could I hit him with an arrow from here?
Yes. You can.
Okay, I'm going to try and hit him.
Okay, so you go back to your longbow, you draw an arrow, you have advantage on this shot because he's tangled with Vespera's tangled.
And Hunter's Mark is still there, is it?
Hunter's Mark is still there. Yep, thank you. Good point. Okay, you roll a 22 to hit. That most certainly hits.
Oh.
Let me just check something. Oh, it's a 21 actually because I rolled off the wrong character sheet. Poof, but still counts. The base numbers count. Your longbow damage is 7 plus your Hunter's Mark, which is another 5. So you do a total of 12 points of damage. Now he's actually wounded. He seems to be wounded from that attack. Do you do anything else on that turn? You're concentrating on your spell.
Yep.
Pretty much your bonus action.
Yep.
And you fired your attack. So yeah, I think that's the end of your turn.
Yep.
Alex.
You are
How
muted
far
again.
away am I? Yeah. How far away am I from him?
Anywhere you want to be really at this point. You've had enough.
Cool. I move right up to him and, well, just before Vespera's entangled web, so I can use my mage hand and take off his hood.
All right. You knock back his hood, and he appears to be a fairly nondescript bald fellow with some tattoos, however, on his face. You can make an investigation check.
That is a 19.
19. You recognize him as a mercenary, you believe.
Can I use my mage hand to slap him and say, who are you working for?
You can do that.
Cool, I do that then.
All right, that's what you do. That's your turn.
That's my turn.
Should have made it hurt. Right. So I'm going to bring Rokan over to me using my little spirit. So my spirit's going to go first and teleport him and himself to me.
Okay, so Rokan, you find yourself and suddenly in a completely different place, slightly disoriented.
Whoa. Where? How? What?
You're over by me now. Are you all right? Do you need any healing?
No, you think these are sticking out of me because I'm building a Christmas tree?
All right. What's a Christmas tree?
What is
I
a
know.
Christmas tree? I don't know what that means, but okay. You can say some other ceremonial tree, which is fine. Okay.
I'm gonna just give you a guidance.
Okay, so guidance. What does guidance do for him? It's plus D4 to
D4 to a one ability check of its choice.
one ability check, just an ability check. Okay, no saving.
Yep.
No attack.
No saving throw.
Okay.
I did have something to say as well. By the flames that burn, may you find guidance.
And you can have inspiration for having prepared that little spell.
Thank you. I'm trying to come up with them.
It's at the end of your turn.
Yes.
Okay, Alcas.
After taking that quite hefty hit, I think I'm going to use my movement to try duck behind some sort of cover, behind a tree or something.
Oh, does this archer get a saving throw at the end of his turns?
Ooh, no, he has to use his action.
Okay, very cool. Sorry, please continue, Alcas. You're going to try and duck behind a tree.
Duck behind a tree or something, and by this point I will draw my longsword.
Okay, you draw your longsword. Okay,
Oh
cool.
shit, I can't use the guidance.
'Cause it's
Yeah, concentration.
concentration. Okay.
I take it back, but I say that and I just stroke your head.
All right. Well, take back the inspiration.
That's fine. That's absolutely fine.
All right.
I'll save it.
Archer friend turns to the sorcerer, who's trying to interrogate him. He has disadvantage still, so he's still going to attack you with his longbow.
I wouldn't expect anything less.
What's your armor class?
At the moment, it's 14.
14. The first arrow misses you. His second one at disadvantage also misses you. All right. At this point, it is Rokan's turn. You have 7 hit points.
I am gonna shoot him with an arrow.
All right. So Rokan's rolling to hit. Still got your hunter's mark, of course.
Yep.
That is a 22. That hits. You do 5 points of initial damage plus hunter's mark, which is another 5. So you do 10 points of damage. Oof. He's in a lot of pain. Alexander.
I disengage from the combat and begin to interrogate him.
Disengage and try to interrogate him. So you're moving back from the combat.
Yeah, I'm moving back maybe about 10 feet.
Okay, it's hard to disengage with someone who's an archer. You can't really disengage with anybody if they're like using ranged attacks without getting beyond their range. You can disengage from melee, I think.
Okay, well then I just use magic missile and shoot at him again.
Your other option is to move behind a tree and take full cover, which I'm happy to let you do, and you can still talk from behind a tree. I mean, you can ask questions from behind a tree, but it's not like you can't really intimidate or, anything like that if you're hiding.
Yeah, no, I'll do that. I'll go behind a tree and start to interrogate him with my mage hand still like right next to his face.
Okay. What are you going to ask him?
Who are you?
Not you'll ever know.
I slap him with 10 pounds of my mage hand.
Okay, it doesn't count as a weapon, but that's okay. I get the impression, and I will take that into account. Okay, then it is Vespera's turn.
Really? My turn again?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I am sure.
Okay, sweet. I'm gonna teleport us 15 feet that way. Like, well, away from where Rokan was again.
Okay, so you're getting progressively further from the combat.
It's more like so the archer, if he was to look for Rokan again, he would have a hard time.
Okay, can you make a deception check?
I could do that. Could I succeed on it? No. No, I could not.
Natural 1. Oh, wow. Okay, well, in that case, you place yourself directly in his line of fire, and he gets an opportunity attack because that's a natural 1.
With it, okay.
What's your armor class?
It's 17.
He does not hit you. The arrow
Okay.
is sailing past. Okay, and do you have any other bonus actions, movement, flavor, dialogue? Nope.
No.
Hellcast, it's your turn.
I think I will, at this point, quickly down a healing potion.
All right, that's your action.
Yep, and then I'm just going to yell at him as well.
All right, 2d4 plus 2.
But yeah, I'm just going to yell at him. Again, backing up the "who do you work for? Who are you?" type deal.
Okay, fair enough. So you heal for 6 hit points, I believe. In fact, you know what? You can make an intimidation check.
Not bad.
Woof. Okay, 15. All right. Is that plus?
I think I'll probably add in there at the end of it as well as, is the payment really worth this?
You hear him say something about what payment? And is that the end of your turn, Alcas? All right.
Yep.
Very good. He goes to shoot at, I think it's Vespera, because she teleported herself into a very silly place with a natural one. 17, that's your armor class, isn't it?
Yep. That was at a disadvantage.
Yep, disadvantage. Okay, so we'll roll one more time. A natural 20. Yeah, he
Good
hits.
thing it was 17. Sure.
8 points of damage.
Okay. Oh, that was incorrect.
And he takes a second shot at Rokan, who is right with you. At disadvantage. He misses you, Rokan. Rokan, you're still at 7 hit points. You still have
It's-
one health potion if you wanted to use it.
It is only fair that if he fires an arrow at me, I should give one back to him.
True, and you have advantage, so let's
Yep.
roll with advantage.
And Hunter's Mark.
And Hunter's Mark. Okay, that is an 11. Sadly, that does not hit him. Alexander, do you, by the way, Barry, do you move to cover because you've been teleported right into the middle of a clearing, basically?
Yeah, my instincts would tell me to get the
Okay.
fuck out of there. And is she by me?
Yeah, because you teleported with Vespera.
Yeah. I'll grab her and get her out of there.
Okay, so he just sort of tugs your shoulder and pulls
Yeah.
you towards the trees, something to that effect.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
On your action, then, that's going to be your movement. Okay, Vespera?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alexander, it's your
What?
Since he's not really cooperating, I just cast magic missile.
Okay. Do your damage.
Hold on. Cast 4. There's another 4. It's a 5.
Nice.
So that's 4, 4, 5 is 9.
13.
13 points of damage. All right. You magic missile him in the face. And he's very hurt now. So to speak. Vespera, it is your turn. You know movement.
Yes. I'm going to hide. That's what I'm going to do.
Stealth check.
Yes. Kidding. 12.
Very good.
And I'm going to get my little moth to come over. Yeah, I'll get him to wander over, and God, it's not too. How far are we from that dude again?
At this point, you're like 30, 40 feet. I mean, you're hiding, right?
Okay, sweet. Well, the moth can do an attack, which I wouldn't mind him doing, or her. It.
It. They.
They. A flame seed. So,
Okay, so ranged weapon attack.
how do I get
Your
that?
spell attack modifier to hit. 60 feet, yep. And it's a d6 plus your plus PB fire damage. What's PB?
I don't know. I'm rolling. That is with advantage. So doubled up. So it's 13 plus my spell modifier. Is that what you said?
Yep,
So it'd be 16.
that just hits him.
Okay, sweet. Where are you, little buddy?
But you do need to work out what the hell plus PB fire damage is.
PB.
It's not the
I
player's
don't know.
fault.
I'm gonna roll a d6,
All right, we're just gonna...
and we can figure out what that is later.
Yep.
Okay, 1.
All right, so you do a total
Cool.
of what? What's your total damage?
4.
4? Okay.
I'll get used to this once I play with him a little more.
All right.
I've just put something in the chat about PB fire damage.
1d6 plus PBY damage. Okay, sweet. Oh, I don't think it. Okay, just 1 plus.
All right, we'll leave that there. Thank you. Alcast, 'tis your turn.
Oh, proficiency bonus.
Ah,
Okay, so it would be 4.
it would be 4. So how much more?
Oh, sorry, 3. Ah, why do I have so many characters?
Your proficiency bonus is 2 at level.
Yeah, so it's 3.
So what's the? Is that? Hang on. How much damage did you say you did?
1.
Okay, so we're going to give him another
3.
2 points of damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ah,
Alcast, your turn.
problematic wildfire.
With the difficult terrain around him at the moment, because he's entangled still,
Yeah.
am I able to get into melee range?
You can, but it is difficult terrain, as stated.
If I can get into melee range, then I'm going to come out from behind the tree that I was behind and ride up to him and just take a slice at him with my elven longsword.
Okay, so you come running out of the trees because you're not with the horse now.
No.
You charge out up the difficult terrain, and you make your attack. You have advantage to hit. So roll to attack.
18.
18 hits.
And that is an 8 plus my sneak attack because it's with advantage. That's another 6, so that's 14 total.
How do you kill him?
I just big slash through across the chest,
All right.
straight down. Yeah.
Very well. You slash him with your deathly blow, cleaving him open, and he falls on his face in the undergrowth. Blood gushing from his wounds. He trembles and coughs blood for a moment, and his eyes roll back, and he passes out.
Just kind of give him a bit of a nudge with my foot.
Okay. He doesn't move. His fingers twitch a little bit, but you don't know whether that's just nerves.
Team, I think we got him.
I come out from behind the tree and see the body on the ground and get out my magnifying crystal, ready to inspect the body.
Okay, very good. So you can make an investigation check if you like.
With advantage, let's go. Advantage roll.
I'll walk up with Rokan.
That's a 13. Both of them were a 9.
Okay. Okay, you're
I
approaching.
think that's got to count for something.
Yeah. So you're approaching with Rokan, is that correct?
Mm.
And you're all surrounding the body now, is that right?
Mm.
I'll make perception checks as well. Actually, not everyone. Alexander can't. He's busy investigating.
Mm.
Everybody else is making a perception check.
10.
10. Rokan, you get a 20. It's a flaccid 20.
Mm.
And what you notice, Rokan, is this hawk sitting in the tree looking down at you, observing this whole situation. It suddenly leaps up into the air and begins to fly off.
I'll take a quick shot.
Okay, so you're going to try at the hawk.
Yep.
Let's go. That is a miss.
Yeah, I thought
You have
so.
another shot at it, but it's going to be at disadvantage now.
Okay.
That is also a miss.
Oh well, gave it a go.
You fire at it and it flies off into the woods.
Which direction is it going?
It's heading back in the direction of DAGDAGIEL.
Why am I not surprised? Okay. Okay.
Have you searched him?
Now, okay, so as you search him, you notice that some of his tattoos on his head make him clearly to be a member of a mercenary company called the Red Ravens. And there's also some tattoos on him that you don't recognize, but they seem to be... You can make an Arcana check.
Certainly. That is a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You believe he's been given some sort of magical protection. Something that you realize they're in fact not tattoos, they're just markings. And he had the equivalent of mage armor on.
I say to the group, well, it looks like he had some sort of magical protection, possibly mage armor.
Well, it didn't do him much good, did it?
But who is there any indication of who he is? Like, or why he was after us?
As you
Was
investigate,
he after us?
you don't know that, but you do find that he wasn't carrying any personal items. He had a purse with 20 silver pieces in it, and a dagger, which just seemed like a normal hunting dagger. He had a short sword. He had originally had 20 arrows, and not much else.
Is he
Are
dead?
there any?
Oh, and his horse has run off by now.
Is he dead?
Technically, he is dead. You guys didn't do any sparing the dying or medicine checks, so at this point, he's bled out.
Is there any secret pockets?
Oh, that might require an entirely new investigation check.
Yes, I think it will.
I'll take the arrows, Russell.
All right.
And that's with advantage because I'm using my magnifying crystal.
I see.
So I need to do that again with advantage. So I'm going to do that again with advantage. 23. Double 19s.
Double 19s. I'm going to give you
One off. One off. I was one off from double 20s.
Right. I think that there may well be a secret pocket in his robes somewhere. And within it, I have to think about what's in it to be specific.
You're welcome.
You find a piece of parchment inside this pocket, rolled up very tightly. It's a little strip, and it has your names on it.
So he was after us. Or someone was after us.
Well, at least you could say he made his point. Arrows, point. Oh, that hurt. Oh.
I laugh at his orcish hilariousness.
Right. Orcan.
You're not the only one who's hurting.
I pass Rokan one of my healing potions and say, "Here, drink this."
Not bad. Not whiskey, but not bad.
So, Russell, could you please do a 2d for whatever it is?
2d4 plus 2 for the healing potion for Barry.
Yes, please.
It is not Croctor, but it's not bad.
So 6 hit points back for you, Rokan. That brings you to 13 out of 18.
Okay.
Okay. And can I also cast a medicine check on him just to stabilize any of his wounds?
You can bandage them. You don't need to make a roll for that.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay. What would you guys like to do now?
I would like to quickly pocket his hunting knife and also collect my own.
Okay. And Rokan, do you collect your axe, I assume?
Oh yes, I collect my axe. I collect his arrows.
You collect your own arrows?
Yes, I collect my own arrows if I can, because some of them will be, you know. Yeah.
I pick up the silver and I start counting the silver out.
All right. So it's 5 silver each if you want to divide it equally.
Yes, I want to divide it equally.
All right. Very good. Very good. I look at the group and say, well,
That was a bit of a fun point, wasn't it? Ha ha ha! And I laughed to myself.
I'll laugh at his joke.
I could have done better.
I look at Rokan and just go, "Yes, I think you could have."
Mm.
Well, after that funny joke, perhaps we should get going.
I agree. Well, what's the time at the moment?
Well, you left in the morning. You've been going for maybe 2 hours before this whole incident happened. You would have been up at what, dawn, I guess, and left by about, I don't know, 7. So say it's about 10 o'clock.
Okay, cool. I think we should take a short rest.
Mm. Yeah, but not here.
I agree.
I think as well.
Rest and do some hit dice.
Yes.
Before we leave as well, I'm not going to like bury the body, but I'm definitely going to try to find some branches or foliage to cover it.
Okay.
Perhaps we should set it alight.
All right. So
What?
I'm going to throw a hit dice for you, Barry.
I don't actually need to take a short rest, but I was just thinking of the others in the group. I look at Spear and say, I think we should set him alight.
So you're going to
Get rid
burn
of.
the body in the forest.
We'll probably
Yes.
take it this. If there's somewhere where the forest can't burn down in its entirety, we will choose that option.
Choose-
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to just roll up your hit dice, Barry, see if you get your hit points back to max. You get 6, which will bring you back to max.
Cool. And Elkas, I see that you've also you're back to full health as well. I say to him, excellent.
All right.
So we are short resting.
Yep, you short
Yes.
rest and you nurse
Oh
your
yeah.
wounds and so forth. And being a sorcerer, Alexander, I don't know if you've used spell slots, but you've recovered
have.
them, I think, or at least some of them, I assume. Okay, so what are you going to do next? You have your short rest, you sit down, you spend an hour off your feet. Are you're going to do something with this body, take it behind a tree or something, and are you burning it or are you just hiding it? Burying it, burning it, hiding it, eating it, feeding it to the wildlife?
I'm thinking about eating it, but it was a long time ago.
Right. You're not like that anymore.
No.
Right.
But I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
Too skinny.
Too skinny. Yeah.
We will find somewhere where it's either really rocky or something, or clear, and we'll burn him.
Okay, you can make a survival check.
Okay.
Unless you want the ranger to do the survival check. If you can.
I want the ranger to do the survival check.
How about you guys do some role playing and talk to each other in character and talk about what you want to do? How about that?
Because people want to skip it.
So give me more fighting.
No. No.
You want?
I want
you
more
want
RP.
I
want
tell
to
you what.
burn him.
Yes,
My
it's the best
people
thing.
burn people a lot, don't they?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I would say
It's the best thing.
Pick up his body.
Does
Find
that
a
not
place.
draw?
Find
Does
a
that not
place.
draw attention to all of what we've done?
Not if we do any better.
I'm glad we have Rokan here.
Glad we
Okay,
had Rokan as well.
Rokan's just walking off with it, finding a place.
All right, Rokan, I rolled a survival check for you. I gave you advantage because you're a ranger.
Yep.
And you got a 19. So you find a rocky spot.
Yeah.
You can set fire to a body if you wish.
Good spot.
You are going to be aware that setting fire to a body is going to create a significant amount of smoke. And
I hate to say it, but our new companion makes a very good point. We
No,
will,
sure.
we will call attention to ourselves. It will make smoke.
How far away are we from like any sort of civilization?
you are over the horizon from any villages, hamlets, or cities, but you are close enough to the road that anybody traversing the road would be able to see the smoke.
Boom.
I'm happy for us to do this, but if we're going to do it, let's do it right. Make it a fire that no one can put out if they come across it. Prevent them from getting to the body to figure out what happened to this poor fellow.
Interesting. How do you suggest we do that?
Put body like
Mr.
so.
Ideas?
You put body like so.
Right,
See?
yes.
Well, you guys did spend the night at the Wildfire Druid encampment the night before, so I suspect you're all looking at the Wildfire Druid for answers.
I mean, it's day one of being a of being a wildfire druid. For that I was just druid.
So me wait.
Well, normally we'd just burn them and we'd watch
Wait, what?
until they became ash. That is what
How
we'd
would
normally
you
do.
typically set the fire? I mean, you could gather some sticks and some leaves. Everything around here is a bit damp, as you previously noted. So
Well,
it's
they
catch naturally or easily.
they're also very good at fire magic. Like they would have magic that would produce campfires, whereas I can't do that. So
You don't happen to have campfire as a cantrip or anything?
no,
How hard is the ground he's
I don't
on
get a lot.
We know
at
that
the moment, Russell?
How hard is the ground?
Yeah.
Well, as I said, you found a big ass rock, like a big flat rock. It's on a bit of an angle, but it's not perfectly symmetrical or anything.
Yeah.
But it's big enough that you can lay a body down on it, and it would act like a kind of a pyre, which you could build a fire on top of, whereupon there would be much less chance of any fire, at least on the ground, catching onto the leaves on the floor. If
Why are
the
you
fire
doing
grew
that?
high enough, it might catch the leaves in the trees further up. Or if any of the leaves that are blowing through the area was to fall through the fire, they might carry it as embers somewhere else. I like the blue on Alexander's face right now. That's very cool. And Alexander, we have seen you cast Firebolt once or twice.
Yes, have. I suggested I will use firebolt to attempt to light the body on fire.
Okay.
I'll try to collect some dry-ish wood to go around
same here.
to help out.
All right, I'm going to get you guys to all make survival checks, and if you can get 3 successes between you, then you can get a good fire going.
I've done my part.
Did your part?
Yep.
All right.
I
Rokan,
got no.
survival
Unfortunately.
check from Rokan gets a natural 20.
But me
Is
and
that-
Elkes got an 8 and a 9.
Oh dear. Okay. Well,
I fix up their disaster.
you fix up their disaster. Okay. Well, you're trying to keep the embers going. Blowing it like this. We'll give you guys all a second chance, but if it fails this time, it's a fail. So we can have another survival check from everybody.
That's a 13 from me.
10 from 12 from Barry.
6, 7. No, we just fail.
Yeah. This body's not catching on fire.
It's like me blowing the horn.
You're just scorching it, and you can smell, meat cooking. It smells kind of good, actually. It smells like pork.
No.
I look at the
Oh,
orc and go,
it's supposed to burn
Yes.
me.
that's how we could get rid of the body.
I mean, alternatively, Rokan, it might occur to you that you could hack it up into pieces, and that would make it easier to set it on fire, but it's definitely going to be a religious problem at that point.
He takes out his
And
exorcism.
yeah.
And I'm going to do something that you will not like. So you all
I pull out
go.
my notebook.
you all go over there, look that way, and leave it to me.
And do you?
I do.
Well, you do. I'm asking them if they follow your instructions.
Oh, yeah.
At this
I-
point, I'm just terrified from the implications, and yeah, I will just head off.
All right.
I'll stay.
You're going to stick around and watch. Okay. And
I pull out my notebook and
Alex.
just start with my inkwell and prepare to write notes.
All right. Well, Rokan, I'm going to make another survival check for you. And if this one fails, then this body is just too saturated with blood and water now.
Yeah, I've got not much to work with, I would imagine.
You don't. And despite hacking the body to pieces, it still won't catch fire.
So
Hey,
maybe I'm not cut out for this.
can I dig a hole for crikey's sake with something?
Okay, you've spent like an hour on this so far.
Yep.
And you want to spend another hour digging a hole? Sure.
I'll bloody dig a hole. I want to get rid of it.
All right.
Diggy hole. I'll also assist in digging the hole
All right. Well,
with my mage, using my mage hand to dig the dirt out.
very helpful. Okay. One more survival check for you, Barry. I'll do this with advantage though, because it's a lot easier than before, and you've got help. So let's make a survival check. Oh my god. Okay.
Jesus.
It's yeah. No. I mean, yeah, you can. We'll say it takes 2 hours to dig.
Okay.
It
Oh,
takes
that's-
longer than expected. So you spent 2 hours digging this hole. Meanwhile, everyone can make
The mage hand kept getting in the damn road.
that could make a certain amount of sense.
I put
That's
it.
wrong one. Perception check, sorry. That's a 6 from me.
I get to 12. You get a 6.
Alright.
Alcas 20
That's a
19.
20.
and a 19. Okay. You can hear the sounds of what seem to be mournful chants and songs coming through the trees in the distance, and the sounds of wagons and horses traveling along the road, which you are parallel to. You're about 300 feet from this.
Have we finished burying this dude yet?
No, you're in the middle of doing that. You're
Okay.
I think because when they started hacking up the body, I left. I probably went back towards the road to tend to our horses.
Okay. So you might be at the road by now, yeah?
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, what you see, Alcas, while everybody else is digging holes, is a procession of mourners traveling along the road, heading towards the necropolis, which is in this direction, which is where you're in fact going to. And they sort of get closer to you. What do? You're just standing on the side of the road with a bunch of horses?
Yeah, kind of just being respectful, bow my head a little bit as they pass.
All right. One of them stops towards the back of the procession and kind of peels off from the others. There's about 12 of them altogether. You can see there's 3 bodies on these wagons. And he turns and comes to you.
And as he approaches, my condolences.
Thank you, my liege. And what brings you out this way?
Oh, just traveling through the woods, sightseeing.
I see. We saw some smoke in the forest. You staying up there? Is there a place up there? I did not know there was any villages this far out.
No villages. My companions, whose horses these are, they were just trying to cook a meal. Had a little campfire going.
I see.
However, everything seems to be a bit damp, and it wasn't very successful.
Yes, it's not good weather for this. Not good weather. Are you traveling back from the Valley of Sorrow, or are you on your way there?
Unfortunately, I think we're on our way there.
I see. Well, it's nice to meet you, sir.
Nice to meet you too. May I ask, why are you traveling?
Oh, we travel together with great sorrow. Our dear Lord Aeneas has passed with his 2 daughters this day. You can make a
That's-
investigation check if you like, Alcas.
16.
You see they have the banners of House Astragon.
Do I recognize that?
Yes, that's why you see it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They have banners, and you know that the banners refer to House Astragon.
Okay. Again, my deepest sympathies and condolences.
It is well. These things happen from time to time. It cannot be helped, but it is a great sorrow to our family. I am Lord Lycos, steward to the House Astragon.
Well, pleasure to meet you, and I hope I never find you doing this trip again.
Thank you, sir, and to you. Good day then.
Good day.
Well met. And he rides forth to catch up with the rest of the procession. Meanwhile, back in the forest, the digging continues. Chunk, 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 chunk,
My
chunk.
mage hand is just struggling to like keep the dirt coming out. It like slits, goes through the fingers and just falls back into the ground.
Right. Fair call. One moment, please. Here we go. Okay. Can everyone roll for initiative, just in case we have any fights, combat, stuff like that? You never know. Happens from time to time.
Or you say that, we know.
I've
But
got
we
a.
know there will be.
Oh,
I
it's
just gotta
become such
leave
a
for a
trope in my
second.
sessions now.
Just gotta leave for a second.
All right. Very good. So Rokan is busy digging very intently and focused, leaving Aspira and Alexander to have a conversation.
I'm looking sadly as the body.
With what's left of it.
Yeah. It's gonna get buried.
Yeah, it's. I'm imagining this hacked up body parts laying in this black robe. Do you? I mean, have you taken the bow? I know Barry's taken the arrows. I'm suspecting he's going to take the bow too. To be fair, because that would make sense. I know that your friend Alcos has already taken the dagger, and whatever else you could find. So yeah, what are you doing? You're just standing there waiting for something to happen?
Waiting for a bad guy to attack us.
Yeah, well, I mean, that
Looking
might
fondly.
at all.
Ignore that. I clicked the wrong button. I think we start making our way back towards the horses.
Okay. So as you're heading back towards the horses, you're going to leave Barry to keep digging the hole?
Well, you can go. I'm still
Yeah,
gonna...
I think I'll head back to the horses and check on Alcas.
All right, fair call. I really need Barry here, god damn it. This is really poor timing, Barry.
When they return to me, I'll just relay that there was a procession going past with, and I met the steward Lycos, and he was escorting the bodies of Lord Inaris and his daughters who had passed away.
Right.
And just see if they know anything about that house and House Astragon.
All right, Alexander. Well, you're the one that left, aren't you? You're the one that went back, so you can make a history check to see what you know about them.
Would it be with advantage because I am part of a royal a house,
Yep.
and so it's in between, you know, the in between.
Yep. Sure.
Yeah, that would have been a good one.
Well, they need to
You're
go
muted.
tomorrow night, then.
You're muted.
That is a 4.
Yeah, unfortunately, you've heard of House Astragon. You know that High Lord Sigmund Astragon is the lord of their house, but you don't know very much else about that house, which is probably a good thing, because if you did know anything about it, it would probably be bad news. You know? you know, they must be fairly neutral, at least towards your house in that respect.
Yeah.
Barry, if you can hear me, I'm putting you on mute because I can hear a bunch of shit in the background. So anyway, you guys, you're digging and put your headphones on.
He's got to go away now.
Headphones.
Oh, he's gone.
He's reversing. He's gone. So there's going to be no encounter. We put the body in the ground, cover it back over, and go back.
I'll put Rokan back in there as well.
Put Brokan in the hole.
Cover him over.
Throw him over. Well, I have an answer to this, but Barry's not going to like it.
He's gonna get hit, isn't he?
Okay, so
Whatever it is.
did you make a perception check?
Yeah. I don't know.
No.
We've made so many of them,
You
so
made so many of them. All right, we'll make another one.
okay.
New bites. Well,
Bing,
Barry-
bing.
yeah. Okay, Rokan is there digging.
Good round.
16. Okay, you hear something that sounds a bit like a horse clattering through the forest, or hooves at least, beating in the forest nearby. Up the hill from where you are, Vespera.
Okay.
And suddenly, out of the woods comes this. Well, first it looks like a horse, but then you realize that it's a dead horse.
Whoa.
And it's got flesh hanging off it, and its guts are open, and it's moving kind of clumsily. And the first thing it does as it comes around the corner is it kicks Rokan right in the head, knocking him out. Ta-da.
Yeah, he won't like it.
Problem solved. He'll come around once he sits down in his chair and has his headphones on. At this point, your initiative comes into play. Rokan, well, he's got a 20 for initiative, but he's unconscious. Vespera, it's your turn.
Right, I'm going to bonus action create my little sprite dude again. My spirit. Whoosh. A moth appears.
Yep.
I'm gonna yell out to the others. We're being attacked.
They're 300 feet away. You can make a performance check.
Okay. 9. So
They may or may not heal you. Can you guys both make perception checks?
Certainly.
You'll need an
I get a
11.
10.
I was going to say you need an 11 because her performance was a 9.
Well,
So
18
Alcas,
easy.
you definitely hear it. With your elf ears, you hear the sounds of a druid in the forest screaming.
In distress.
and see as I have an actual action.
Yep.
An actual action.
Actual action.
I am going to entangle him.
Entangle him. Okay. So does he get a saving throw? Strength, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. What's your DC? 18, I expect.
13.
13. Okay. You entangle the hooves of this horse so that it cannot move. Barry, can you hear me?
Oh, there's probably like a Latin word.
Now,
or-
Barry, you were busy digging a hole when suddenly you heard the sounds of hoofbeats coming around the corner, and then you got clocked in the head and were unconscious for about a minute because you weren't at your desk. And I just couldn't wait any longer to start the encounter.
Okay, we had a minor disaster.
Okay, well, at that point, you wake up.
Mhm.
And there is this undead horse standing basically over you, and it's just been entangled by Vespera's vines. Yeah?
And
Oh, wow.
we are moving back.
And you're moving. Okay, well, you're moving back. Barry's not because he's just on the ground. He's prone. The warhorse attacks at Barry with its hooves. It rolls. Oh, it's a disadvantage though. Isn't it?
Disadvantage, yes.
Okay, so I'll roll that again.
Oh.
Okay. 24. Okay.
Oh.
Going to hit. Roll a 25 and a 24. That's ridiculous. Okay, 2d4.
I call hacks.
I also call hacks.
What witchcraft is this?
Okay, 12 points of damage from its hooves. Boof.
It's probably divination.
It's almost knocked your ass over, Barry. You're down to 6 hit points, just like that. All right, that's its turn. That's bludgeoning damage. Okay, Alex, you are on the road, and you've heard Alcas tell you that there's been a scream in the forest.
I jump on the horse and I start using the horse to run towards where we were.
Very good. You can make an animal handling check with advantage because it's a well-trained horse.
Excellent. That's a 16.
Okay, you are halfway there. Alcas.
Same thing.
Same thing. Okay, you can make an animal handling check with advantage also. Okay, Alcas. Sorry about this.
You drive your horse off a cliff and it explodes.
Yes, literally explodes. Take 5 points of falling damage as you are thrown off the horse, Alcas.
We love it.
You love it. He's like, I'm not coming back to this game. This guy's okay, so that's that. Rokan, you are on the ground. You need to use half your movement to get up.
Yep.
Assume you can do.
Zephyr Strike.
Zephyr Strike. Okay, so let's have a quick look here. Zephyr Strike. You move like the wind till the spell ends. Your movement does not provoke opportunity attacks. Once before the spell ends, you can give yourself advantage on one weapon attack roll. This is going to be it. The attack deals an extra d8 force damage. Whether you hit or miss, your walking speed increases by 30 feet until the end of that turn. So you're going to hit it and run, or what?
Yeah, hit it and run.
You already have advantage.
Yep, so you have advantage. You're going to use 2 hand axes.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So your first attack is a natural 20, so you don't even need to roll with advantage for that one. Your second attack is a 12 and well, actually it's a 17, so that also hits. So your first one is a critical damage roll. 14 points of damage from your first attack. Come here. Fuck. Why is this so hard to find the right thing? 14 from your first attack. Boof. And your second attack is another 5 because you don't get the strength bonus. Okay, you hack into the meat of this undead horse, almost severing its spine, but you notice that it doesn't even really slow it down.
Okay.
And then you move at your full speed out of its range without provoking any opportunity attacks. You've still got your bow and arrows, so you could use a bow attack on your next turn if you wanted to.
Yeah, I will.
Okay, Vespera, it's your turn.
I am going to. There isn't much I can do. However, my little dude is going to use flame seed. Again, so it was 1d6. So 5 in total.
5 in total. 5 points of damage.
Oh, Jesus. Yes.
Okay, the remains of the horse burn up, and the skeleton wobbles around for a minute, and then it kind of collapses with a clicking, crashing, clunking sound into the dead leaves. Ba-dump. A moment later, Alexander turns up on his horse, and I assume, Alcas, you're going to recover yourself, get back on your horse, and come riding in as well.
Gently trot. When I just
calm the horse down a bit before I jump on as well.
Okay. Very cool.
I just rock up and I just like slide in.
All right.
You drift.
You drifted.
I drifted.
Okay.
I say, what happened? Why did you scream?
I'm sorry, we were attacked by a skeletal horse.
I look at it and I see the remains of I'm assuming is a skeleton horse.
Yeah, there is definitely a skeletal horse here. It is, in fact, not just skeletal, but it's got a lot of dead flesh on it. It's an undead horse.
Oh yeah, okay.
And Alcas, you turn up and you also witness this as well.
What on earth is happening?
Can I cast an Arcana check? See if there's any magical.
You want to make an Arcana check? Yeah, you can try.
It's like there's a necromancer out there
19.
that's just having a field day.
Nobody like orc. Nobody like orc.
It's okay,
I give him
Rokan.
I give him my other potion of healing.
Okay. So,
He's
Rokan,
got good berries.
you going to drink the potion of healing or are you going to take a good berry?
It's only 1 point and it's bitter as a just in
Yeah,
case.
you take the potion of healing.
Yep.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we're going to do 2d4 plus 2. That is a total of 6 hit points back for Rokan. Okay, you're now at 12 hit points out of 18.
Everybody.
You're still pretty winded, but your head hurts.
How's that hole going, Rokan? We should chuck the
Oh, yeah.
chuck the horse down there as well. You might need to dig a deeper hole.
Most important thing, never mind about Rokan.
There's a lot of holes in the desert.
Well, it's
Pretty
just
soon.
I feel sad because I couldn't burn this.
Okay.
Hold on, step back. I'll
not-
get my little creature to try and flame seed him. Not Rokan, of course.
All right, so you're
Hinting.
Hey, wait.
You're going to
I'm
get your
not-
flame seed to burn the body.
Yeah, I'm gonna try.
Well, I think that sounds like probably the way to do it, really.
I'm getting.
Elemental. If anything can burn a body, it's an elemental, a fire elemental, right?
Let me out of hole first. Let me out of hole.
Okay.
All right, so you clamber out of the hole. You toss in the body of the horse and the guy. Which one's on top and which one's on the bottom?
Oh, I put the horse on the bottom and the man on the top so he can get a ride to heaven wherever he goes.
What's heaven?
Yeah.
Well, what is that though?
I look at Vesper and just go, we'll talk about it later. I think we just burn the body first.
He's going to the plains of Avernus, I suspect.
Whisper, fire away! Fire away!
This my little wildfire spirit creates a flame seed. I'm not sure what that implies or looks like, but we'll make it druidy.
Yeah.
Like a little seed pops up and explodes.
All right.
What? There's actually a wait. What?
Oh, please tell me it burns. Me gonna cry if it
What
don't
does this
burn.
mean?
I'm gonna cry.
Okay. I think. Okay. Sweet. Sorry. This just. Yeah. Well, it hits anyway. And it was 6 points. Plus. What was it again?
Alright.
Plus 2. Right.
Very
Okay, sweet.
good. It burns. It catches fire. It burns. The fire elemental helps it burn, and it.
Oh, thank everybody, every god I know. Thank. I forgot my god. Gunch. Thank Gunch. See, I ask another question. How come him got fire and you got fire?
What? What do you mean? Like magic?
How come you got fire and he got fire too?
Because
Ow.
we learned how to do it.
I
Oh, actually, I can't. So my little creature can.
So you brother and sister?
No.
No.
No. We
But
don't
him-
even look similar.
Him do fire.
Okay.
You do fire, him do fire.
That's not really how it works.
No,
No.
Okay.
Thing is, look, it's the same thing as like you used a bow. This gentleman in the hole who's burning, he used a bow. Are you two related?
Well, no. Him not orc.
No,
No.
you don't mind? I'm just gonna
Where-
go and watch the
Where's
remains
Skinny?
burn.
Where's Skinny Man gone? Our friend, where he?
Alcas, he just
Oh,
rides into the.
I'm
Yeah, he's
just
there.
kind of standing off to the side at this point, watching, thinking like all of the other groups that I've had to do work with, they've all been like, we're gonna sneak in, steal something, we're gonna like sabotage something. We don't hack a man up after we kill him and set him on fire. Like, I'm just like, what's going on?
Okay.
I think
My-
he's trying to be
My
clever.
father, he said to me, sometimes when things go wrong, you go with flow. Okay?
Oh, for sure. That's a motto I live by, but
Yeah. You use your sword to kill any of my people?
no. This is a relic passed down from my mother. I definitely haven't killed any of your people with it.
Okay. He looks deep into his eyes.
You want to make an insight check?
Yeah.
All right, Rokan, making an insight check. You don't get any bonuses to this, but
No,
I wonder,
no.
I wonder what
No.
Alcas is thinking.
so that's a 16 on that insight check. What does he get from that, Alcas?
Elkis is being very truthful. This is a sword he doesn't. It was his mother's sword, but he doesn't know much about where it came from. He knows it's of some elven design from his mother, who was the elf, from the half elf. But he doesn't know a lot about the history or anything, and he definitely hasn't intentionally killed any orcs with it.
Another question. You drink?
Oh, I drink. Of course I drink. Who doesn't?
Oh,
You
good.
know he drinks because when you first saw him, he looked fucking hungover like hell. I'll make another insight check to see if you noticed that. How about that? Oh, natural 20. Yeah, you could smell the alcohol on him when you first met him. So when
Me
you ask him
think-
if he drinks, it's kind of a rhetorical question.
Me think me answer my own question. So, you drink? That's all right with me. And he slaps him on the back.
I just kind of like stumble forward a little bit. Well, let me buy you a drink sometime when we're in a tavern.
Ha 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 ha. You got nothing I can drink. you drink, you elf, you drink piss water. We all drink. Anyway,
I challenge you to find something strong enough that I can't handle.
I take you to the Orcan lands. There you find something you can drink. Hiya. Okay,
Don't
where's
know whether I'd
our
be too welcome there, but I'm always keen for a challenge.
boss? Where's he? Oh, there you are.
I'm still on the horse. I haven't gotten off it. I just say to others, I think it's time we carry on with our mission.
Yes. Carry
Well-
on with mission.
Well, Vespera is watching, and at some point she starts. She just starts dancing with
Let's go.
the flames,
Okay.
like a flame. Oh, with her little moth as well.
Well, that's sad because my character's riding off into the bush or onto the road, more to the point, and continuing his journey because
See you later.
he
I say
thinks
to Vis-
everybody's behind him.
And I'm just trying to yell out to him, Rokan, where are you going? We haven't left yet.
Nice Glambero.
Rokan.
Yako.
My yelling just gets quieter and quieter, and all we hear is his singing just getting quieter and quieter. And we've now split the party again.
Right. Great. Thank you so much. Okay. So let me be clear. Who's where doing what? Barry, you're doing what?
Rokan is singing happily to himself because he thinks everybody's behind him.
Okay, and what is he doing though? Where is he going?
He's going towards the funeral place, the
Towards
place
the
of death.
necropolis. Okay, so
Yeah.
you're heading back to the road, basically. That's
Yeah, I'm heading back to the road because that's where we're all going.
all right. So you go past everybody and then start heading towards the road.
Yeah.
Okay, Alcas, what are you doing?
I'm probably joining him, continuing the conversation about drinking and all that sort of
As you
stuff.
go back towards the road.
Yeah.
Okay, Vespera,
Hmm?
what are you doing? You're
I was dancing.
Okay, and these two have
With the
left.
fire.
Okay, well, you're dancing by the fire. And Alexander?
I am staying with Vespera while she's dancing with fire, and I stand in the back on my horse, just kind of, you know,
Getting the horse to dance.
sort of getting the horse to dance, and I'm sort of, you know, freely going with it, you know, just being one with the wind and the air and the fire and the heat and all that.
And how long does this continue for, Vespera?
Until it burns out.
And how long is that, Vespera? Is this an eternal flame?
That would be hilarious, wouldn't it? Honestly, the spirit probably would have stopped if someone had kicked Earth into the hole.
I kind of realized we need to get going, so I turn my horse around and I kind of rear the horse, and it kind of moves its feet and puts dust all over the fire.
This is Orkin drinking song.
You may
Thanks for that.
realize that you're by yourself now.
Oh. Hang on. I hear you, me, clip clop.
I assume the fire is going to go out sooner or later. Once everything in the hole is burnt up, do you then cover it, or do you just head back to the road?
Head back to the road.
Okay.
Yep.
So
I-
what's the point in that
Hop on the
hole
horse.
there then seeing as okay, never mind.
Is there a point that I realize that
You
they're
just spent a
back?
lot of time on getting rid of her body.
Okay,
Well, you did.
okay.
How to get away with murder.
Who filled the
A very
hole?
long episode.
I was going to say that was not it.
I don't think
You
you
know?
guys are going to get away with murder in that case.
Can you
The objective was to not leave a trail. You failed.
what I want to know is, can you find out if I have intelligence enough to figure out that everybody's coming this way, but
But Vespera.
yeah.
No, she's on the back of my horse.
She's
I
on
am
the back
just
of your horse?
yeah,
Sharing a
we're
horse now.
we're sharing a horse back to the road to meet
Okay.
back to her horse.
Where is okay?
I tied it up to a tree.
More to the point, have I got brains enough to realize that nobody's actually buried the body?
That is a more important question.
Can you roll that? And
This is going to be a wisdom saving throw. Are you drinking?
no, I'm not drinking. I'm just trying to teach him a drinking song.
Okay, so you're making a wisdom save. You rolled a natural 19.
Okay. Hang on. Whoa. Everybody stop. Who bury body? I know
You-
bury body.
You made
You
a
know-
hole.
But you're supposed to put dirt over home.
Nature will claim it eventually. It's fine.
Oh. He turns around. He rides back to the hole.
I
And
don't
he-
know whether anyone will be able to track it back to us. There's an undead horse in a hole with a bunch of body parts. I don't think there's enough evidence for
They're
them to
just
trace
gonna-
it back to us.
They're just going to think it was a skeletal centaur.
He
They
puts
have,
it.
Or something.
have no idea what's going on.
he gets off his horse because a sad thing about him is he's one-minded.
Right.
Right. And he starts to fill in the hole. Yeah.
Fair enough. All right. Well, you fill in the hole, and the hole is filled in, and you, I assume, return to the party with your horse.
Yes.
Has the party waited for him, or have they moved forward?
We've waited for him since he kind of galloped off, and then waited for him to return.
All right.
I think.
Fair enough. Okay. Well, what do you guys do after that? You're going to continue along?
Russell,
Yes.
He's impressed also because he's discovered a new thing.
Oh,
You don't dig holes with mage hand around.
right,
It's much quicker without it.
right. That's fair. That is
Damn.
okay.
Now we go this way.
Well,
He
you head
starts
off.
going the wrong way. Yeah, Rokan, you're going the wrong way. We need to go the other way.
Me, Ranger, I know what direction I go in. That way. Is he right?
He's not
The
right.
necrop.
I think Rokan Rokan is a ranger. He's got a sense of direction. There's no way he's going to get let off.
Hey guys, oh, the both of you are actually pointing in the same direction.
Good point.
But wouldn't I know where the necrop? Well, I know where the necropolis is off by heart because I've been there for so many times. I would know that it's that way.
Literally, you are both pointing in the same direction. I don't know what you're doing.
Barry has
But we're not going anywhere.
As a ranger, he cannot get lost.
He just goes. He doesn't
That's
listen to
literally-
anybody. He just goes.
All right, enough. Enough. You ride. You head for the necropolis. Eventually, you get to the hills that break open to where you can see down into the valley, and there is a bridge that crosses down into this valley of death.
To think I gave this up for another game. My God. Okay. I gave a game up for this. Okay. All right. I'm on my way.
All right. So from here, you can see down into the valley. You can see the various tombs along the walls of this valley. And further up, you can see where the valley curves, and beyond that is where the tomb to House Kaelryn sits. You ride down and across the bridge. You see a number of mourners. Some of the mourners that you saw earlier, in fact, Alcas. They've probably had time to have their entire funeral and bury their body and sing a few songs and have a feast, and now they're on their way home again.
Elcas.
Yes.
If they need a hand burying their body, I got experience now. Okay.
I think they have it covered.
I ride up to the one that I recognise as the steward of the house, and I say, "My condolences for your loss." Obviously, I have my signet ring on, so you can tell that I am from the House of Kaelryn.
Fair enough. He says, "Oh, thank you, Lord. I do appreciate that. We will pass on the condolences of House Kaelryn to our peers and fellows. I shall make it
bow to him.
that you have said such to the Lord."
I bow to him and I say, "Safe travels."
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Now let me check something here. Tokens. Now, I need to check with you guys. What's your vision like at dark in the night?
I can see in the dark, apparently.
Yes, you can. You've got 60-foot night
60
vision.
foot- no.
Does anybody have
60-foot night
anything
vision-
that's not
dark vision?
60 feet dark vision?
I have 120 dark vision,
And you can see in the dark. You
and I can see in the dark.
All
and
dark,
magical
dark.
darkness.
So what's the total length of your dark vision? 120.
120, yeah.
Okay. Rokan's is 60. Alcas, what's your dark vision?
60 feet.
60 feet. Cool.
Wow, very awesome.
The Spira is 60 foot as well, I assume, or no
Yep.
dark
Yep.
vision? How do you get dark vision? Oh, I
My
know.
race.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay. Cool. What's this? Objects, tokens.
And Vesper's eyes in the darkness have that little glow.
Okay.
Oh, if I've been traveling for over an hour, my little dude disappears.
Elcas,
Yes, your
that?
little dude will have disappeared by
you
now.
know something?
Yes, my friend.
You don't have to worry about dead people because they're dead. You only have to worry about dead people that stand up and walk.
Is that not the whole reason we're here, though? It seems like something we should definitely be worrying about.
It just seemed to me like you had too many wines, so I'm making sure you know.
Up ahead,
No, I'm fine now.
Oh, good.
as the road curves around the valley, you approach the tomb of House Kaelryn, rather. And there you see it as you left it, with the great stone smashed open at the entranceway to the tomb. There are no corpses on the road, however, nothing that you left behind. If you recall, you fought some zombies right there in the entranceway. They seem to have disappeared. In fact, you can make perception checks or investigation checks.
Are my
I pull out-
arrows there?
Sorry, what?
Are my arrows there on ground?
No.
Oh, good. I must have taken them with them. Okay.
I pull out my magnifying crystal and I start looking around on the ground
Okay.
for
Make an
footmark.
investigation check.
I think I'll go inside.
Let's say 19.
19. You see blood stains and drag marks heading back into the tomb. And Barry, do you want to make a survival check, a tracking check?
Oh, yes, please.
That is a 12. It's really too wet and muddy to tell from the outside whether anything has been through here or not. There's definitely been passage through here, but you've been through here too, and there's probably been creatures, wildlife as well since then.
Okay.
You don't know if anything's passed through here. You can't tell if anything's entered or left the broken tomb entrance. Does anybody else have a check they want to make? Did I answer you, Alexander?
Oh, what was it? Sorry?
Did I give you an answer for your check?
Yeah, you did. You said drag marks and blood stains going back into the tomb.
All right. Anybody else want to make any sorts of checks?
I'd like to go inside.
Okay, so you want to go inside. Well, here we go. Dun, 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 dun.
Do I feel like I'm gonna need some light? Because
can
if that's the case, I'll make a torch.
Roll 20, please.
It's weird that you say roll 20. That was okay. A D20. 17.
No.
Oh, on my roll 20. Okay, sweet.
Look at your roll 20.
I hope you know that when you say roll 20, it gets complicated.
I didn't say roll a d20.
That's why vampire is so much better.
That's what I would have said.
You're not gonna hear roll 10.
No.
No, but then you get words that mean other things and we get all confused for about half an hour. Yeah.
Okay, sweet. Yes, you're in the game.
You're in the game? Cool. Has it loaded a map?
Yeah, looks good.
Excellent. Well, that's where we're going to leave our session today.
Okay.
Dun,
Can I
dun,
just
dun.
Yes.
Like, you must be so frustrated.
You could have explored this map if you hadn't decided to spend most of the session digging holes.
What, we like digging holes?
This is going to be a regular occurrence, I think.
I suspect so.
Oh,
Rather, should I say, I fear so.
yeah. I think I think we're just warming up with our characters and knowing what we can do.
Yeah, that's fair.
Hopefully one day we can get a spell that just instant makes holes, just hole created.
Right.
Yeah.
Move Earth, basically.
Shape Earth.
If you want to give one of us that,
No.
it would make so much trouble.
I think that
Disappear.
clarity about what your purpose is probably quite important, and discussion, focused discussion, more to the point, is useful.
Yeah,
but that's okay. Some of you guys have just met each other. I imagine that's definitely part of it, and both in and out of character, to be fair, as well. So there's that. You've only played your characters once or twice, so that's also an aspect of this. So it's all coming together. It's all coming together. We'll see how we go next week.
Yeah.
What day next week?
Next week will be the alternating day. It will be Thursday next week.
Thursday.
So we go Tuesday, Thursday, Tuesday, Thursday.
Let me have a look.
Okay.
See what I'm doing. Let's take all this boots up and then I'll tell you. Hurry up, stupid app.
But anyway, I will stop the recording here. So thank you guys.
Okay.